JR2C instructor program for the high school up here, and he will be teaching these two boys
Good.
next year.
I just figured out why we don't have anybody joining us. That was stupid.
Why?
I forgot to hit the live button.
Yeah,
Go live? Yeah, well, that should have been a half hour
Yeah.
ago.
yeah.
I couldn't get my camera to work, and I quit worrying about it. And it was like, yeah, let's not go live. And now we're live, so maybe we'll see. We got one person watching. So
I can't see
I
who
wish
it
I would
is.
have been here before this because we had some pretty good conversations.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, speaking of conversations, remember the deal I was telling you about with my truck? And you told me just drive it 200 miles?
The what?
My deal with my truck, and you told me just drive it 200 miles?
Yeah.
I don't dare drive it another mile.
Why?
It's rattling so bad it sounds like it's going to blow up.
Wow.
I was told just replace the motor, and I was like, but I just put $5,000 into it.
Hold on, David. David.
Yeah. Go ahead, Troy.
I'm trying to. I'm getting really bad feedback. I don't know if it's from me.
Somebody does somebody have it on YouTube open on their phone?
I don't
Troy,
believe.
if you got YouTube open on your phone, turn the volume all the way down.
I did. Actually, I just kept the phone off. So I think
You might have to just close out of YouTube.
I just shut my volume all the way down, so it's not me, I don't think.
Yeah, it's not me. I'm watching the Bearded Thrift Machine, the guy out of South Carolina that buys.
that guy's awesome.
Huh?
He's awesome.
Oh, Julian is his name. He got me hooked on these storage units big time. He got a locker they called the Millionaire Locker. Oh man, he made some good money off of that thing. He paid $500 or $500 or $600 for it and made like 60 grand.
I learned about him watching him on our way back from Arkansas.
Oh yeah, on my phone. Well, I have an iPad now. I'm planning. I would like to go down to 10 killer. I probably am not going to make it to Mid America. Not that far down.
Right.
But I enjoyed, seeing everybody, talking to everybody. I just wish they would have had more for people to do.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
That's my only complaint. I guess you could say complaint, which I'm really not complaining. I'm just saying that.
Well, when I did Lake 10 Killer in 23,
yeah,
they had fishing contests going on. They had a frisbee golf thing going on. They had all kinds of stuff going on. And this time over there, it was just like the only thing going on was, okay, we're going to give a bunch of stuff away.
Yeah. See,
I was really disappointed with, well, bring a dish to pass for dinner.
Yeah.
That blew me away. I was like, why?
Somebody that, I've gone to things before, activities and stuff like that, but that was the first, we'll say YouTube meetup I've been to.
The kid just hurt himself walking out of your house, Troy. He's on a limp. He's walking like you.
Yeah. David, I'm getting double feedback from you.
My phone shut right off, so I don't think it's from me.
Huh. Oh, Arlene's in here. Hey, Arlene. Sorry, hey. Thanks to David, he put us live so everybody could see.
Yeah. I think
the only one he can't see.
I think I'm going to back completely out and then come back in on your live.
Okay. Yeah, because you're sounding kind of weird too.
But I will be back.
All right. Well, you know
I've had exes that try to get rid of me easier, and it's not going to happen.
So anyway, Greg, I was told that I just need to trash the motor that's in the truck and buy one from a 2015 Silverado and get that put in. And I'm like, but what if it's the computer? You know?
Yeah. Maybe you
I'm
just
not a mechanic.
maybe you just need to buy a real truck, a Ford.
You know what? I was looking at one today that was only about 2 years old, and that thing had so much rust on it. I was like, either he never washes it, which I can't believe because it was clean, or they aren't any better today than they were when they first came back after they used steel.
Well, to me, the best Fords that they made, I don't even like the new ones.
No, I don't either. I'd rather go back to like a 71.
I mean, David's got a nice one and Tim has a nice one, but wait till those electronics start acting up.
Well, they don't have to deal with rust like we do, so that's a plus.
Well, they don't have to deal with the salt.
Yep.
They still deal with the climate that we do, but not as bad.
There we go.
Hey,
We're back.
Is that better?
All right, T-Kid's back. Hey, he's not limping anymore either.
No, he's not.
Hey, he has a table sitting right here, and I bumped right into that. It didn't feel too good.
Yeah. Well, you could have sat down on it and just stayed there for a while. It's like a bar stool.
Well,
I don't know if it would hold me though.
no.
It'll be all right. If you fall down, we'll just laugh.
You are really right.
hey, did you guys see what? I know you, Troy. You were in the live last night for Lauren.
Yeah, for a few.
Did you see her video?
I didn't see the one before that. The one that she put out.
Man, I certainly. I don't know what happened, but
Hey, Junior. The other Junior.
Parker. Yeah. What?
Could you pull some chat up? Privacy chat.
Yeah. All right. So it says private chat and comments.
Yeah.
Comments.
Oh,
There you go.
Find it. Hi, Arlene.
Hey, Troy, learn StreamYard. It's free.
Well, that's what I was in before, but actually I didn't have any problem until that you went back live, or actually went live.
oh,
And then as soon as that happened, everything went berserk. All my sound and everything. So
I actually had the paid StreamYard, so instead of seeing that powered by StreamYard thing up there in the corner like you do,
right.
it actually had my logo there. But
Yeah.
I found out that they raised their prices and it made no sense.
A lot of people left StreamYard for that.
I don't mind seeing that duck.
I don't either, but I'm just learning, and these kids are teaching me. So they actually they made me an opening short video to work.
Oh, really?
Like I could use it to start a video with, and
Don't give me any credit. You know, I've known this about the same amount as you.
just wash my dishes, okay?
Okay. I'll do the manual labor. He can do the technology.
That worked.
Man,
Yeah.
You're technology.
what am I doing?
Technology.
Yeah.
Technology. I'm technology technician.
He's labor. You're
I do both.
whatever.
I do both. He gets the small portion of it.
I love these
I
kids.
don't get none of it.
It's all day long. Well, while they're here. Yeah. Yeah, I got sidetracked for a second. I'm sorry.
well, you're good.
I was actually thinking about doing a special video for Father's Day tomorrow in respect for my past father. And,
Yeah, happy Father's Day, guys.
Yeah,
happy
happy
Father's Day, guys.
Happy Flag Day too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think if I do,
And Army's birthday.
Yeah.
happy birthday, President Trump. I'm thinking that if I do that, I'm gonna have to do it on my laptop now because apparently this camera just doesn't want to work anymore. I find it funny. I unplugged the camera and it says, "Okay, your microphone's been muted." They are not connected. They are two separate devices.
Oh, yes, that
And I'm
works.
like, huh?
Yeah.
You want to make it work?
I wonder if you could share this.
Dave, you know what the camera I use? I'm
Yeah.
actually, I have my monitor is actually a Samsung TV, and I'm mine is Nextgo. I've had this thing for probably about 3 years. Never had a problem with it.
There we go.
So you got a TV that has a camera in it?
There we go.
No,
Don't go on Pornhub.
the camera.
These kids are underage, okay? So
No, you understood 100%. Patrick's over there laughing more than I was.
but Junior here, he just figured, and he just shared this out. I think under my channel.
Yeah, I put I went back to the YouTube, the actual live stream, clicked share, and I put a post on his YouTube. Just come join us, and so we're gonna try to get some more people in here.
Hey, don't be afraid to be involved in this, buddy. We don't have a problem having more people in there. As long as you all fit on the same camera.
Nuh-uh.
Let me go get a Macho Man too. Let me go get him.
Yeah, bring him in too. Give him a chair and have him sit down.
Macho Man.
Heck yeah.
The more the better.
Yeah.
Macho Man, grab a dining room chair and sit down.
Yeah.
Here, put Silas on your right
There you
side,
go. There you go. You got him a chair.
and I'll get on your left side.
Yep. And then you got to move right in closer too. You guys can all be on screen.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Now we're getting the party going.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah. If I can not
Yeah.
break the chair.
That's
Wait,
possible.
hold on. Troy, you might have to have Macho Man sit on your lap. He's hard to see.
Then we wouldn't be able to see
That's not
Troy.
I'm just getting to walk again. That's not going to happen. That's right, yeah. But this is Silas, my nephew, and this is
Drake,
Drake.
the
nephew.
adopted nephew.
Yeah.
All right. So what was it? Silas and Greg?
Oh,
Huh?
come on.
Was it Silas and Greg?
Drake.
Drake. Like
Okay,
a Drake
good.
duck. Like the duck.
Oh, okay. Drake.
Yeah.
Okay.
He might, well,
I thought you called him
He brought-
Patrick
he brought-
earlier.
he brought it up the other night when we was doing a test live, and that. What did you say?
He said something.
Yes, he did.
Something along the lines of.
Maybe your daddy or something, or
Yeah,
But-
could be my dad.
17 years ago, it's possible. I don't know.
Wait, did you hear the one I was telling people on Facebook about my mom and dad my mom and dad meeting for the first time? My dad introduced my mom as Rich to he introduced her to Dick, and she's like, "Well, that's nice. My name is Stella." And then a little later in the night, he says, "Well, really, my name is Richard." And my mom sat there and she says, "Well, that's pretty cool." She says, "But Richard, how do you get Dick from Richard?" And here I am.
Yes, right. Yeah, I'm going to keep my jokes out of this right now. So.
I came home for that one on my own one night, sitting around just having a couple beers, going, "Yep, that was fun. Got to break that one down and start."
Yeah. But you know what? You two guys y'all are family now. Y'all are my brothers too.
Absolutely. Hey, but that trip, we got to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a good thing y'all stayed out front while I had to crawl in through the back window because of this one locked me out of the house.
Oh, it was him?
Yes. I thought he forgot to lock the door to the house, but when I came down here to check on everything, I noticed the door was unlocked. Oh, he forgot. I thought he had his keys. No.
No.
He didn't call us or anything either. He just crawled through the window and let me know when I came down here.
Well, I called your daddy later today.
Hey,
He said he
Silas,
was leaving it unlocked.
what you should have done is you should have just taken over the house, done a squatter, and then when he knocked on the door, you could have let him in.
Well, he had permission to do that.
See? I'm not wrong. You could have been a squatter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I guess because I have a set of keys, which was on the shelf in there, and then I gave them a set of keys because in case something happens to me again, that they have access to get to me or whatever I need.
Right?
I thought since you gave us a key, the house would be locked.
See, there you go thinking again. How's that work out for you, Junior?
I thought since you gave him the key, you would have known to call him and have him come unlock the door.
Well, I actually there was still in school at that time, and we got here Saturday morning or Sunday morning,
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
and I was
Yeah,
thinking,
we were early.
and I thought it was Monday morning. So that was about the time that the kids would have been going to school, their daddy at work and stuff. So
Well, it was supposed to be like late Monday morning when we dropped you off, but that
Right.
storm came in and said, "No, we're leaving early. Get in the car and go."
yeah, we did, and
I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
Glad we did.
me too, because what happened there, it wasn't a bad storm where it was at, but we done the right thing.
Well,
And
there were trees down. There were trees down. There was some damage to the park.
Yeah, I mean, did you watch Dawn's video?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Yeah, she talked about it. She said their tent came off the ground with a minute.
And sent them back down.
Yeah, and
Amy-
it was
Amy
crumbled.
and Chris ended up spending the weekend in the bathroom or the rest of the night, from what I heard, in the bathroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just, I mean, I went through 8 hurricanes when I lived in the Keys.
Right. That's
And-
why I don't live on the coast of South Carolina anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, we could have a tornado up here,
We have
But-
had. We have
right?
had.
But I'm just saying it's not as frequent as down there. And
Yeah,
I mean, I feel bad for everybody, but
Yeah.
at the same time, we can't control Mother Nature.
we don't live in what they call Tornado Valley. We
Yeah,
live in New York State. So New York State, if we get a tornado, it's few and far between, but we do get them.
we
we
just
had
live in
one
a
last
state
year.
that says we're gonna screw you.
Yeah. we actually, well, last year we had one that split into two. And where I live, it went down one of the main roads I could use to get to my house, and the other one went over to where my truck mechanic lived and came up another road over there. And then the two of them combined again onto another guy's property and just totally demolished every tree on his property. But it only took one house trailer roof off and didn't destroy any other houses, and nobody ever got hurt. It was cool. We got trees laying down on the ground where the roots are sticking up.
Yeah.
A friend of mine from Arkansas says, "You don't get tornadoes." And I says, "Let me come over and pick you up and take you for a ride, brother. I will prove it to you. We do."
Yeah. We actually we get about 2 tornadoes a year in this area of southeast West Virginia. But they're not big, huge like everybody else gets.
Yeah,
They're little small ones. And
Yeah.
I
Well,
actually
this
set
is
up
to go over the mountain first.
well
And
see,
then back
once
into the valley.
they get in the mountains and these valleys, they just start jumping all over the place.
Right.
Breaks it up. And I sat on the back porch of a buddy of mine's several years ago. It's probably been about 9-10 years ago. We sat on his back porch and we watched 9 separate tornadoes come up the river valley at the same time. And they wasn't big, but they caused some havoc. And when they get to the top of the ridge line, they jump from ridge to ridge.
Right.
And
Then they start breaking up.
yeah,
That way we don't get them.
exactly. We're here for y'all. We support y'all.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
but Dave, if you've noticed all the weather that Arkansas has been having this year, we've gotten 2 days later.
Absolutely.
It's almost like they're sending it right to us.
I set my clock to Arkansas time because I know when it's going to start raining because New York time doesn't say, hey, today it's going to rain. But I'll tell you what, if it rained in Arkansas 2 days ago, it's going to rain today in New York.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we get it right after they do because it comes over and it hits us and runs up the Appalachian Mountains right into y'all.
Yeah.
Every time.
Well, not every time, but 99.9.
Yeah.
It's been terrible this year. Melanie and Gary were like, well, we can't get out, we can't finish the roof. We can't get out, we can't work on the siding. We can't do this, we can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, well, you feel bad about it. I can't even mow my freaking lawn either because you got it, and now I got it.
Yeah.
I mow my lawn once a week if lucky because we think we get like 1 day a week where it's not raining.
Yeah. Well, this one and his daddy took care of my yard for the first time this year. And of course, he weeded from the back side of the house all the way up the sides, around the camper, and up to the road, and in the very back from the pine trees to the fence, which is, he weeded about a half acre.
Wow. That's pretty good, man.
Yep. And then his daddy came down with the lawnmower and finished the backfield back there. So.
You got a big property.
Yeah. Well, y'all gotta come. Y'all need to come down. We need to do just a brother weekend. Y'all come down because you know I got room in the house. This one will probably be sleeping in the cellar.
I actually showed him it earlier.
Yeah.
So now he knows where it is.
Very, very, very
Hey,
roomy.
Troy, set a cot up this time.
Yeah. Oh, come on. You don't want to lay on a hill? Hey, I actually,
I didn't mind the hill. It was the lumps underneath it.
that's funny. You know what I got out of the storage unit that I just picked up yesterday?
What?
A military cot
Oh, there you go.
from the Army.
Okay.
Throw that sucker in the dang dumpster.
Not comfortable?
They're heavy duty, but you won't want to sleep on it.
That is a workout just to put them suckers together.
Well,
And then when you wake up, you feel like you've been inside of a taco all night.
I lived on one for 15 months. Well, several times, but
yeah.
with the West Virginia National Guard, that was a 7th tour in Iraq, and that was a 15-month tour sleeping on one of those.
Wow.
I don't even want to see it again.
Screw that.
I had the advantage.
Your grandmother's going to hear you say, screw that. You know that, don't you?
I know. I could have said a couple of things, but I said screw it.
Hey, let me ask.
I had the
Go ahead.
advantage when I was in the military. I went from like where I was at HHC Ithaca, New York. We'd go to Fort Leonard, Missouri, and take over while they were being deployed, and we take over the whole area. So I could just grab whatever bed I wanted to because we could have all of them if we wanted them.
Oh yeah, Fort Lost in the Woods.
Yeah, Fort Lost in the Woods.
Yeah.
I always took like the drill sergeant's beds because they were hardly ever used.
Yeah. Well,
You guys were up like all night long giving everybody else hell, so you could go in and get into a brand new bed, and it probably had 100 hours worth of sleep time when everybody else might have got maybe 200.
Well, both of these are JROTC, and this one's actually, he's going to go active. My finger looks broke right there. Oh, it might have been broke.
It is a little crooked.
Yeah, but it matches the rest of me, so it's.
So you're both in ROTC. What's your hopes?
Huh?
You're both in ROTC. What are your hopes?
Well, my hopes is to complete the program. Well, I've already completed the program, but
Well, good start.
I've got my E3 and whatnot for the military, but this upcoming school year I'm going to sign and go through basic and whatnot, get all that done during the summer. But definitely complete school and get all that out of the way. Go active for about 4 years to get the benefits, and then from there work my way towards National Guard. Looking towards aviation right now.
Okay, good choice.
I'm pushing toward the SF side to go in to get to where he wants.
Overall, by my 20-year mark where I'm getting pension, I want to be a Green Beret Special Forces.
He can do it.
That's
You
where I
can do
want.
it.
That's really
Yeah.
where I want to get.
But
Drake, it's not an easy path, but you can do it.
he can.
Oh yeah.
And this
Mentality and
my
whatnot
buddy
like that.
here. Yeah. He's going. His life is going to go in a different direction.
Well, you're bigger.
Well, not because he has some health issues, and
Oh,
uh,
okay. I thought you were gonna push him towards the moon.
but he is has just as much potential as this one, if not even a little bit more, because you got me teaching you things.
Yeah.
Why you laugh, asshole? Ah, I am the good uncle, or actually great uncle.
Well, you were up till that point anyway.
Yeah.
Apple.
Here, let me just give you a piece of advice somebody once told me. If you guys have your goals set and nothing, you're young, go 100% at those goals. Don't let anybody stop you, whether it's a girl. I know you guys are
Absolutely.
young. We were all young.
Absolutely.
Don't let it stop you.
Yeah.
Because with the way things are right now, you got to have something to fall back on.
But, and does that sound familiar to either one of y'all boys?
Yeah.
Sounds like you're preaching.
Silas.
He's preaching and my dad's preaching.
Hey, let me tell you, I'm
Silas,
only
it's
52
enough to
years
man
old.
this up. I'm gonna have to tell you, you're gonna have to get your hair cut.
Do what?
And I know he's not talking about me.
No, that's Silas, man. Look at his hair.
Hey, well, he's not very
Yeah,
far
but you
wild.
guys got in to come back out again, Troy. We have a difference. We're allowed to grow it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, you're doing good, Drake.
Well, he's actually within military rigs.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Good.
And I tell you, both of their girlfriends are great girls.
Mm-hmm.
And
Until they leave and go into the military, and then they'll find out they aren't going to be so goddamn
Here's the catch.
reliable.
Here's the catch. Mine is going in the military with me.
Oh, you're not doing the buddy system, are you?
well,
yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
probably after boot camp, him and her will probably be married.
Yeah, we're gonna get married after I get done basic, and
she's actually more badass than what he is.
All right. We need people like that in the military.
So
You know,
she
right,
keeps
don't
him in line.
yeah.
Hey, guys, you know what? Most of the time I would say let's stop this right now, but most of the time my life doesn't start until right now. I screwed up and I put us on in the wrong time. So I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna say, if you guys want to keep going, let's keep going.
I
Hey,
don't have a problem with it.
There you go. Lori's prepping from heaven. Hi, how you doing?
Hey, Lori's in there.
Rory.
So this is my normal time now. So let's just keep it going if you want to. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
All right, cool. Most people aren't used to seeing my mug. Of course, they can't see it now. But
Yeah.
most people aren't used to seeing my mug until 8 o'clock at night because I screwed up. I looked at the calendar and I said, "Yeah, 7." No, it's supposed to be 7 o'clock Central Time. So we're normal time now, so we can keep going.
Lori said hi.
Lori,
Guys,
and
introduce yourselves again because Lori doesn't know who we have in down there with Troy.
actually, she knows of them very well.
But she doesn't know who they are by the
She
look.
knows.
Because
This is Silas, and this is what the hell is your name again?
Drake.
Drake.
Drake likes the duck.
I'm leaving.
It's about freaking time then.
It'd suck if I took your tire off.
You're not taking my tire off.
They'll go out. They'll take tires off each other's vehicles so they can't go nowhere, and
That's
take the
fun.
tire with them.
It's better than siphoning the gas.
Yeah.
Unless they bring it to Uncle Troy.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Then
I
that's
do it
permitted.
for the lawnmower. I agree. You got a big yard.
Yeah.
Guys, buy high tops.
I just took his tire off so many times that it ain't funny.
Yeah.
And it's because we were working on it.
Yeah.
I ain't took it off for fun yet.
Just you watch yourself. I might do it. I might do it to yours.
Well, I don't know how long it's been since my tires came off. It's probably been about 10 years. So
But
you'd have fun with that.
Besides that spare you got on.
Yeah, spare, yeah.
Hey, Sheila Tubbs, how you doing?
Hey, Sheila.
They're asking where David
Sheila,
is.
I'm here. Sheila, I'm
Hey,
here.
Sheila.
I just can't get my camera to work, so I'm only voice now.
Yeah.
He's
They-
invisible.
Yeah. They've been helping me out and everything, trying to get. This is the first time I've ever tried to use my computer because I don't know how to do it.
Oh, now you'll be flying through it.
Yeah, but he's teaching me. Well, he's actually that's my moral support.
More
Yep. Yep. I know about the same amount you do. So
Yeah.
more support.
I know too much about technology.
So,
Video games.
so basically, if Drake doesn't do a good job, Silas is going to kick him in the butt, so you don't have to.
Hey, I'm still getting kicked in the butt by him. I'm getting the food right up the keister.
The next thing he tastes in his mouth would be the rubber from my boot.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Or the curb he crushes me on.
So be careful what you say about Grandma. Lori, I'm not hiding. I can't get my camera to work.
Yeah, which Lori knows all about that. Camera issues.
Oh yeah,
Oh, Lori said my name earlier. 801.
yeah,
Yes, Lori.
yeah. That Lori.
They were making fun of your name.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, y'all around me, y'all get made fun of anytime. So.
So basically, you're supposed to say, Lori, hi. I'm Drake.
Lori, hi. I'm Drake.
There you go.
This is the first time either one has actually done anything like this.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm not a big streamer or nothing, but I know how to do it.
Maybe we can make them more likable.
These two, no, they're not getting more likable. They're,
I'm just here.
yeah.
I work here. That's all.
But I love these two boys more than y'all know.
Yeah, I love this old man right here.
Oh man.
I love this very young, athletic man.
Yeah, I don't think you did that very
He
well.
does move pretty quick.
You better put your boots on.
That's called compounding lies. We used to do that with Joe Biden.
One thing that's for sure not a lie is this guy can move.
Yeah.
He can move, man.
I'll turn around for a second and then
Gone.
turn back around, and I'm trying to figure out where he went.
Gone.
Where you don't think I will be,
Give him,
but
give,
I
give, give,
guarantee
Inside.
Started giving me
Don't-
milk
don't-
jug dad vibes.
Don't went back inside to get him something more water.
No, he probably had to go pee.
Yeah, that too.
That won't slow him down.
for a few seconds, Gary, that's well.
Except for that hole in the porch, that'll slow him down.
He
This
avoids it.
one the other day told me whenever my housekeeper is here, who's going to be their instructor next year, they started talking crap and stuff. And I said, I would just put a boot up your ass. He said, I just go down the steps.
I'll stand in the middle of the steps.
That makes it even closer, though, Silas. You
No,
haven't got to put up so high.
No, because I can't go up or down steps. So he's just going to stand in the middle of the steps.
Yeah, but then you only have to go off the porch to the butt. It's pretty close. You don't even have to like put your foot up.
Every 22, he's like, oh, he's going over now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I can't reach you, but I can hit you.
Or we'll just throw the cane. Or
Or
something.
yeah, throw the cane, knock you in the forehead.
Hey, you know what would be real cool while you boys are just kind of hanging out there? Find somebody to go get a board for that porch and just replace the one that's missing.
Yeah, put a ramp.
Well, no, the ones that's busted out. They're talking about the ones that's busted
Oh.
on the front porch.
Yeah, like when
When
you
I
first,
almost fell
like
in.
when you first walk in.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
a
that
man-
one, Greg.
You got board?
Yeah, we have
Three
to
of
go
them there.
Yeah, we have to go get the wood. Me and him was talking about that the other day. We got to go buy the wood to replace it. 'Cause the
Well,
wood we have
I'm
here.
buying the wood, but you just got to go get it.
That's fine. 84 lumber.
Hey, don't forget to pick up screws while you're there, guys.
You can
You
even
need
go
to not just put it down because otherwise Greg and I are going to go there and they'll step on it and they'll come up and kick us in the face. So
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
you probably want to screw it down too.
Yeah. See, I forget about
The
that.
boy was talking about your cane. I got to just push him with your cane.
Lori, don't give these boys any more thought. That'll get them hurt even more later on. Because remember, I'm from the generation where you mess up during the daytime, and then
We
you
take
go,
care of it at night.
go it. By the time you get, watch it. By the time you get to sleep at night, your grandmother will be there somewhere, rip the curtains off, and whoop you with that damn stick.
Or because we're the right age, Troy, we'll just wrap you up in a blanket, throw you out the top window, and see how long you decide to sit there and scream and holler before you realize there ain't nothing underneath you for about 25 feet.
Was that you? Was that you?
Yeah, well, no, I used to do that to other people in the barracks. That was fun.
Yeah.
You either shut up now or you find out there's a cement floor at the bottom.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my grandpa used to grab the cane because he had a hook cane.
Right.
And if I gave him attitude or anything like that, he wouldn't give me then and there. But boy, I'd walk by him and he'd grab that cane, hook my leg, and I'd be on my butt quicker than counting to 3. I mean, he'd get me good.
I can see it happening again.
I hit my chin on the counter a couple of times.
And yeah.
Mine, yeah, he was just
Yeah.
he was a very big one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, both these boys had lost their granddaddy, and so
Got him. Granddaddy.
You got to stop granddaddy coming
Right.
in.
Yeah.
yeah. But they're two good kids, but I didn't mean to steal the things tonight with these two boys.
Boy, don't worry
No,
about
you're
it.
good, man. You're good.
But we're all family. Hey, look at your two uncles.
Hey, Uncle Greg, Uncle David.
Yeah, look at the black one up there in the top corner.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to black them.
Yeah, me neither.
Now you're interracial. You
That's
should be
family.
proud.
I always told my wife I was hearing voices with Moffat being.
Yeah.
Greg hears voices only because I send him voicemails. No.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to read the chat because I still can't see it.
No, she just said.
Yeah, that was
She said
807.
Mola 807. It's 810.
Okay. Which Lori, she's old, so she's kind of behind in the times anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask Troy and David a question.
Okay.
I got out of a storage unit. The guy was a veteran. He had passed away. His family didn't want anything to do with the stuff.
Yeah.
What's the best way to surrender a burial flag?
VFW, take it to VFW. If you got a veteran,
Wait, does he need it retired?
yes.
W or DAV.
Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking about. Or they do.
We do
Just
a
got
flag.
done.
We do a flag retirement ceremony every year, and we take in a bunch of flags all year long. And at the end of the year, we'll have a retirement ceremony we have a firing line, got the 3 volleys and whatnot, and we respectfully burn them.
Yeah.
And
we
Greg,
retire.
Greg, if you want to send it down to me,
All right.
it will be taken
Yeah,
care of.
'cause, I mean, it's in a case. They had put it in a case, and I don't know if it was I know the guy was a veteran because I have some of the medals that he got. And I was gonna turn it back to the family, but the guy at the storage facility said they wanted nothing to do with any of it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I would say VFW or DAV would be your best 2 options.
Yeah.
All right.
Or like I said, if you want to send it down to me, the boys will take care of it.
Yeah,
All right.
we have a big retirement ceremony. We'll have like 200 plus flags, and we go through a line. We get up, drop them, burn them, salute them, and then we
Every
continue on.
flag is showed respect.
Every
Okay.
single flag.
Yeah, I have it upstairs.
You me encased flag though, that wouldn't be the kind of thing you'd want to do with it because it's an encased flag. You wouldn't want to burn it. You'd want to display it.
Or you,
Yeah.
There's a chance it has a plaque on it with somebody's name and rank.
No, it has nothing on it. I looked. I didn't take it out because I'm not about doing that.
Right? Yeah, I wouldn't either. No,
but
most time it's a wooden case with a plexiglass front, a wooden back, and then at the bottom of the plexiglass part there would be I don't know if it's brass, but it looks like brass, where they would imprint the name and the rank.
Yeah.
right.
Sometimes a unit.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that. But talking to the storage facility guy, he had saw it in there when he took the pictures before they listed it, for auction, and called them and said, "You guys want this back?" And they told him no. So I'm like, instead of,
Yeah, the VFW or the DAV would probably put that into a showcase in the corner or something.
yeah,
It's the unknown soldier.
When I was the senior vice commander of VFW post down in Aiken, South Carolina, 5601, and we got so many of them every year. It would be impossible to do that, Dave, because
My locals do.
Lori's
Yeah.
apologized.
well, we have a VFW, we have an American Legion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
American Legion is another consideration.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought about taking it over there, and
Just go there and ask them.
yeah.
And they would tell you what they would do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to make sure it's, that it doesn't just get tossed away. You know what I mean?
I agree with that, Greg. Just show respect. I agree with that.
Because, I mean, I wasn't in the military. I couldn't go because of my legs.
Right?
But, when I find stuff from the military, like all the medals I found, they're upstairs in a lockbox. I'll keep those forever.
Yeah, it's like
because the guy's family don't want them.
Well, that's not something you want to take to like the local Army Navy store because they'll just sell them for whatever.
Right.
And then you get what's called stolen valor.
Yeah.
So I just keeping them for self-preservation until whatever, and just do whatever you want to do with them.
Well, that's
everybody in your family knows they're not yours, so they're not going to try to preserve them as being yours. And they don't do anything with them either.
My father-in-law was in Vietnam, and we said if something did happen to him, and my mother-in-law my wife's stepmom doesn't want his flag, we're definitely going to keep it because it's my wife's father. You know what I mean? I just have respect for all of our military, whether they were, medically discharged or, because I mean, you guys know what you guys go through. I have friends that served in Iraq, served in Afghanistan, and especially Vietnam, when those people came home, they were mistreated so badly. It wasn't funny.
Oh, yeah. The hippie population was terrible.
I just like it. Excuse my expression, but it pisses me off. You know?
It does.
And
you're not the only one.
Yeah, that's a very valid expression. Just disrespect any kind of armed services or any kind of military. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yep. I just.
One thing I will say about my local town is our local hardware store. There is a red, white, and blue old school mailbox out front.
Yeah.
That is for flags only. If you have a flag that is getting ripped, torn, or whatever, and you want to dispose of it, you put it into that, and then they'll do a burn ceremony with them.
Yep.
Right.
I
Yeah,
see
a
somebody
lot.
the flag and just throw it in the trash, and it pisses me off. Every time I see it, I'm going, that's not how you respect the flag.
Right.
Right.
But down here, a lot of fire departments, they do the same thing. They
Yep.
do a flag ceremony.
Yep.
Unfortunately, what I just learned recently, like this morning, was that if you want to take an American flag and throw it on the ground and catch it on fire, you have a legal right to do that under the Constitution. I totally disagree with that 100%. I think that needs to be changed. These people running around with Mexican flags, throw them on the ground and burn them. I don't care. That's my.
Oh no, you'll go to jail for that.
Yeah.
For Mexico, you would.
But then,
See, the thing about Mexico that I mean, my father-in-law is half Mexican, okay, and it's all of our problems is not Mexico.
No,
It's not.
it's not.
It's other countries, and I don't mean to get political and this and that,
No,
but
that's fine. That's fine. You
it's
got
not
China.
Mexico.
You got
because-
China, Venezuela, Hungary,
Yeah.
all these other countries that are doing the same thing. Canada.
And it's not just South America.
No. Believe it or not,
Destroy the country as much as you can and hope you don't have any results. That's what they're hoping for. Hate to disappoint them. They will have results.
Yeah, no. What really gets me though is how that they can just go around and burn the American flag and whatnot, and say that it's freedom of speech, that they're speaking their parts and whatnot, and expressing themselves. No, if you do it anywhere else, you burn anybody else's flag or any other country's flag, you're going to jail. I mean, I really wish they would do that with our flags and whatnot, because it's disrespectful. Like
but believe it or not, the video I saw earlier. Okay, I watch a lot of, especially when I'm doing stuff. I'll watch YouTube. I carry my iPad with me and I watch YouTube, even when I'm driving. Nobody heard that.
Well,
especially in my truck, I pick up on everybody's
Greg's a truck driver, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not for me.
A lot of the people I've seen burning the American flag were not even foreigners, and that's what's sad.
Yeah,
it was American people, and I'm like, really, people? Yes, if you look at
and white.
Yeah,
college age.
Yeah, and if you
that
look
tells
at
you something about the education system.
everybody is an immigrant. The only true people that lived here were I call them Indians still, and I'll always call them Indians. Yeah. I have Indian in me. My mother's side had Indian. They were the only true people that were here. We all are foreigners.
Well, actually, you can get into it.
We took over part of California because we got part of California from Spain. Now they're trying to reclaim that land, but we won that in the war.
Well, Mexico only owned that land for 26 years. 27.
Yeah, it was a very short period.
Before that, it was Spain, and then we actually purchased that.
Yep.
Land. It wasn't tucking; it was purchased.
Yeah, but the Spanish-American War was the closure on that. That's we own this land. You have no more closure on this land. This is our land.
Right. And actually, when you get down to it, well, we're not going to get into that because I can go back.
I'm sorry, I didn't even mean to open a can of worms.
That's fine. We can do what we want.
Because
it just irritates me.
The American Indian was nowhere near the first people here in the United States.
It was the cavemen and the dinosaurs.
Well, actually, the American. I'm just going to say this. It goes back to actually the Polynesians came in to South America and then came up and then. We're not going to do that. Yeah, that's a rabbit hole and a half.
Yeah,
yes, it is. And I followed it. Just as much as I followed reading the Federalist Papers from page 1 to page 999 or whatever it was.
Well, y'all will be reading that here in a little bit because I'm going to give it the Federalist Papers to y'all to read.
Okay.
Yeah, you
The,
read.
The Federalist Papers are very interesting, to be honest with you.
It is.
I studied that for a while, and I was glad that I did, because there's a lot that's in our Constitution and our Bill of Rights that was discussed among many people, and there was actually fights and almost wars broke out because of it.
Yeah. Well, every book that the founding fathers used in my research that I found that they used to bring all their to write the Constitution.
That was the research. That's what they used.
Well, I have copies of what the historical copies from back then that they used to make the Constitution, and I'm going to be having a lesson with these boys, and not only what I have, for them to go out and search other things, because
Excuse me.
I might be wrong, but
that poor duck just got pushed. The good thing he is swim away.
yeah. But no,
Lori, what are you making me for dinner? She said she a little behind because she had to check on supper.
It's in that blue toad on the TV behind you. Probably gonna be an MRE.
I had pizza tonight.
this boy and his brothers done found my MREs and stuff.
No,
Can I try one? Well, yeah.
They tried them all.
No,
No, because they're
they're not all bad.
no, they're not.
Tried a handful of them.
No,
yeah.
I only had one.
They only had one because there's a 2-year supply of them. Oh, I'll say our own. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to trade a cheap little packet of them MREs to other soldiers so I could get their milk, because I had to have something to wash down the one I had. Those things were nasty.
But no, what depends on what area you're in. There was good things. Then they got rid of all the good things and
Yeah,
the military had, and
yeah. You can buy an MRE at Walmart now.
yeah.
The camping section.
I think I actually seen
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. I might go buy.
Yeah, but those one at Walmart are nasty.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them in campers for emergency backup food in case we go camping.
There's 35-gallon buckets MREs.
I'll tell you the best thing from when I was a kid. Okay, my parents,
I'll
my
say
mother,
that to get up.
Yep.
my mother raised us on public assistance.
You don't know where
Now
they're
there
at.
was 5 of us at
I
home,
know.
and we used to get the government cheese. You remember the government cheese?
Oh, that was the best stuff.
Oh, man.
It was government cheese food.
Oh,
You get the commodity cheese, the commodity butter, and
dude, that stuff was the bomb. I'm sorry. I watched Big Mike's live one night, and he was talking about it.
Yeah.
And, oh man, they need to bring that back.
they do. Get rid of
peanut butter.
SNAP, get rid of EBT, and just go back to the commodity
Yeah.
that we had.
Yeah, we used to get the peanut butter. My mom used to make peanut butter cookies out of that government peanut butter, because you get it in like a 3-gallon tub or whatever. That stuff was freaking awesome. You'd have to put butter on your bread because it didn't have any oil in it, but it was good.
It was real butter.
Yeah, it was.
It was real butter.
What? And then they got rid of it because it was real butter.
Yeah.
It was nothing. It did not.
They didn't support the chemists. It only supported the farmers.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what it was. The stuff that they call, I can't believe it's not butter. Oh my God. That stuff is probably the worst thing you could ever put in your arteries.
This one, he just asked me if he could have this.
No, I was showing him it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You still have a package of oatmeal, for crying out loud.
What you doing it in me for?
it missed him, but to get to you. But
And that's your story, and you're sticking to it, right, Trey?
Silas, there's your dinner.
Hey, let's throw the Italian sauce.
What time is it? Oh boy.
I don't know. You got
Or,
to
yeah, all that
I gotta go
government
around
stuff was
3:30, go help Mom
awesome.
with the dishes over there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you actually gonna do
He's got to go take care of.
Gotta go help my mom out.
Tell her we all said hi.
I will. We'll see you guys.
All right,
Take,
nice seeing
take
you.
care of yourself. No trip for that
Everybody.
too.
I love you, boy.
All right. Come
I'll
down
be
tomorrow
back.
if you get a chance.
What time?
Whatever time you.
I think
Well,
your
I'm not
wheel is
sleeping.
missing.
I'll swing by after work or something.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. I got a job now. Mount Mama's. I'm gonna be cooking and cleaning dishes and helping out with whatever.
Well,
Don't come
hey,
down there. I'll poison you.
I got you practice here. So.
All right, sounds good. Hey, but we'll see you guys.
All right.
Love you
Bye,
again,
buddy.
buddy. Oh.
Love you too.
Right?
And then,
Enjoy your mom.
Oh, pretty good.
Only live so long.
I'm gonna go get my tire iron now.
I'm gonna be 90 this week.
You're going to be 90?
My mom will be 90 on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God bless her.
Yeah,
we
Mike.
We just went out today and bought her like a 65-inch TV. We're going to get a 70, but they were too expensive. So we bought her a 65-inch TV, and we got a birthday party going on for her Thursday. So we have another person that lives in the same building that let us store it in his room. And
That's cool.
while we have her down there for her dinner, and she's visiting with everybody else, we're going to sneak up and put the TV up in her room, and hopefully we can set it up. But she has a Spectrum remote, and I'm not too sure what it takes to program a Spectrum remote to a smart TV.
Right.
The TV she's got now, it's already programmed, and I told my brother, I said, we don't want to give her a different remote control because that'll mess her life up.
Yeah.
I'm serious. She can't see the TV. The last thing we need to do is give her something that she can't feel the button on.
Well, have you ever thought about getting one of the universal remotes, to where if you have to get another TV later, you can change the
Well,
signal
Spectrum,
to the remote?
the Spectrum remotes are kind of universal, but she's 90 years old. He bought her a cell phone, and she can't even figure out how to turn it on. So the last thing I need to do is change the buttons on the remote.
Yeah, that's true. She
Hey,
kind
She does it by feel. So it
I'm
would be
52
really
and I
bad.
can't find the remote or find the buttons on the remote. What do you mean?
It got to the point where I used to take her grocery shopping every month, and I don't even take her grocery shopping anymore. She just scratches out her list, hands it to her aide. Her aide looks at it and says, well, what's this? What's this? What's this? And then rewrites it down so she can understand it. And then she goes and does her grocery shopping and brings her groceries back.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I take her to Walmart, I can't walk away and say, well, I need to just run over here and grab this, because she'll be over there going, I'm looking for this. Do you know where this is? Can you go get it for me? And she'd be harassing customers in the store. It wasn't even employees. She couldn't see, she couldn't tell the difference, you know? So I was like, okay, well, I can't leave her side. And now I don't have to leave her side. I don't even have to take her shopping. Her aide just goes and does it for her. So it's beneficial that way.
Yeah.
I go do my shopping and don't have to worry about doing it again with her the same week. But we've been doing that, I don't know, the last 4 years, I think. My brother Dale's like, well, I'll take her shopping anytime you don't want her. And I was like, can you read her grocery list? And he's like, I don't know. And I give him the grocery list one day, and he's like, what's this say? And I was like, that says cheese. And he's like, nope, I can't read her list. Okay, well, then you can't take her shopping. It's as easy as that. You know, when you get to the point where you can't see what you're writing on a piece of paper, and you can't see what you're looking for in the store, you can't have somebody shopping for you that can't read it either. You know, I learned how to decipher it. I've been doing it for a couple of years, but it's like, yeah, I'm glad she's got an aide now, so she can say, well, I think that was this, and the aide will just be like, okay, Stella, I'll go pick that up for you. But yeah, we're having a big party for Thursday at her apartment building. And we're inviting all of our aunts and uncles and everybody, all of her friends and everybody over, and just saying, hey, you know, when she gets talking to everybody else, she may not know who they are by looking at them, but she probably will. We're gonna disappear and go set that TV up and see if we can't make it work.
You know, that's really cool. Yeah, on so many levels. That's a great.
Well, our current TV is only like 32 inches, and when her soap opera comes on, she has to get up with her walker and stand right in front of the TV for like a half an hour watching her show.
Yeah.
You can hear it fine. She just can't see shit. So it's like, yeah, let's get her a big TV and make it so maybe she can step back in the chair and watch her show and not worry about it. And my brother Dale, he said, well, we'll go half and half. And I was like, all right, cool. And then he came up to me today because I said to him, I says, well, what was the cost of the TV? We just picked it up today. And he says, I decided don't worry about it because when mom passes away, I'm going to take that TV because my idiot in the house that I'm partners with right now is going to pass away, and then I'll own the house, and I want that TV for that living room. I says, all right, cool. You pay for the TV. You want money towards the stand? And he says, nope, I need the stand to put the TV on. All right, cool. He just got done paying for a big butt wedding. I mean, that wedding was expensive.
And it was really nice. I've seen the videos you put out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my aunt actually watched it. And she called my mom. She says, well, that was a very beautiful video all the way to the end. And mom's like, well, what happened at the end? And she says, well,
David,
good.
part of it.
She said it was good all the way to the end where he got to the end of the video and started complaining about losing $1,400. And I was like, Mom, I never talk money on my videos. I don't know where the hell she came up with that from. She says, well, I don't know where she came up with it from either, but she's older too. She actually told my mom, I can't believe you got an aide. And I said, I can't believe she hasn't got one. There's a 12 years difference between them, but I'll be honest with you, my aunt and my mom are, you know, dollar for dollar, pretty much 50-50. My mom can't see for crap. She can't neither. My mom can hear really well. She can't hear shit. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe her daughter had another video playing in the background, and when mine ended, that one came on, and that's when somebody was complaining about.
I was gonna say, Dave, you clean up pretty nice.
Yeah. I didn't clean up as nice as my brother though. He's a Harley boy. He looked like Troy. He had the long beard in the front. The
Now wait a minute now.
He went and shaved, and he got his hair cut just for that wedding. And I was like, well, that was pretty cool. He looked at me. He says, you don't say anything different? And I says, yeah, you're dressed up. He says, anything else? And I says, no, you're just dressed up. He says, asshole, I shaved. I got my hair cut. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm still my brother. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna love you just the same. It don't matter, but okay, great. I'm not gonna shave for it. I'm not getting my hair cut for it. I just dressed up for it.
Well, I mean, hey, I even shaved for this. I shaved for the live.
I
didn't even do that, but you know what's funny about that? You can't see me.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw you earlier before it went black.
I did too.
It was very short and sweet. And I don't know why my phone quit working for me doing that. I was like, well, it was on. I'm good. I set it up. I got a video. And then it just shut off. And I go, okay, well, what happened here? I don't know. It was funny.
Yeah.
This whole night's been funny for me, except for I think I got to unscrew my camera now from the stand I got it on and go buy another one. That's not so funny.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm telling you, get the Nexgo. NEXGO. That's what that's what I have. I only look yellow because I'm in the basement.
It actually changed from nice bright white to yellow a little while ago, but I was nice enough not to say anything about it.
Oh no, I checked everything earlier before it started, and I'm like, it makes me look yellow, but
yeah. Well, this is my first camera. I paid $33 for it.
Yeah, I mean, I paid like $20 for this one.
Yeah.
I've got thousands of dollars invested in cameras, but none of them I can connect directly to the computer.
What?
I do have another one.
Pull
That
up. Pull up.
I have another one that I can connect to the computer, but the problem is that if I go like this with my if I raise my right
Yeah.
hand,
If I do like this, if we seen what you were doing, we would know.
if I raise my right hand well in front of the camera and I take my hand back down again, the camera will lock on to me. So if I move, the camera tries to follow me. So if I decide I'm going to get up and go grab another beer out of the fridge, the camera's going to go behind the monitor to look towards my refrigerator and see behind the monitor. So I can't use that one because I use my hands as much as I use my mouth.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I remember when you got that camera and you started trying to use it.
Yeah.
About a week before we went to the meetup.
Yep.
Isn't that like the one that Melanie and Gary has?
No, there's actually zooms in.
Yeah.
If they move wrong, it says, "Oh, I'm supposed to only look at Gary now," and it changes the position and goes right straight to Gary and zooms right in on him. And it's like, wait, no, we're trying to do it as a partnership, and then they have to retrain the camera to not do that. Yeah, and it's all based on sign language kind of stuff, which I don't really understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lori said
actually,
you
Lori,
can
I
change
don't
the
have to worry about changing the settings. What I have to do is not use my hands to talk. If I don't use my hands, it'll only face forward. But if I raise my hand for any reason, it'll say, "Okay, you're going to follow you now," and it'll follow me wherever I go. It'll actually do like a 180-degree turn following me. It's weird. I like it, but it's weird.
And Lori, I'm sorry. I apologize to you because I can't read and follow the chat because I'm actually, I don't know. It don't work. My eyes don't work and stuff. So.
Well, that's why Greg and I wear glasses.
Yeah, actually, these are just readers from the dollar store.
That's how mine are.
I
don't do readers from dollar store anymore. I do readers from Amazon because dollar store don't sell them high enough.
These are mine, and they're about 9 years old. To the last prescription last time I was able to go up and drive to get new glasses and stuff. So
yeah.
The VA won't do something for that.
Well, he's got to go there, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, and it's 40 miles away.
Oh, wow.
And they've got a big list of the doctor's appointment. I have to go to the VA hospital in Beckley.
Oh, okay.
And they said, "Well, we got a ride for you." I have to drive over to Rich Creek, which y'all know where that's at on 460.
Yeah.
What's that?
To meet the van to take me to Beckley because I can't drive.
Is it because of your stroke you can't drive?
That with the chronic vertigo, everything up here is messed up. That's
okay. Yeah, my wife has jumbled chronic vertigo too.
Yeah,
well, that you can't see.
Well, that's part of the because I've only got 43% of my cerebellum back here that is active. Okay. The rest of it is dead from the stroke, and which evidently I guess I'm a cheap date because anything and that's what alcohol affects, that part of your brain, and everything that alcohol does to it is controls all that. So
yeah,
I'm drunk 24 hours a day.
That explains the vodka.
Hey. What stuff?
It may look like water, it may smell like water, but it's still going to be
which is mostly water, but like this here is half a shot, the rest of it water, and a little bit of a tang dipped into it.
I was going to say, it looked a little orange.
Yeah.
It's
And
Troy's sipping cream.
yeah,
Gotta add the flavor.
yeah.
Yep.
But the bad part about it is, when I get up in the morning times and stuff like that, I don't drink anything until about 1 o'clock or so. On the trip, we fudged that a little bit, but up until then, until once I drink, like, that's half a shot in whatever size this solo cup is, and
16.
it take once about 3 of them. I drink 3 of them, then the entire world comes back together. And as far as my head goes,
Right.
and this is whatever time it is, and the fourth one I've had today. So
At our time right now, it's 8:45. Going on 8:45. 8:43.
yes, it is.
So you see, it just came back together. You were able to read the clock.
Yes, pretty much. But look, when I get up in the morning times, I cannot walk because of other things. But it's just
Oh, trust me, I've seen
when
you.
I get up to 1 o'clock, it's for me. The things don't work, and I'm refusing to take the medication that the VA has given me. And I just had the blood work right after we got back from Oklahoma, and they said everything's perfect. You're doing so good on your medication. You're just a little low on your magnesium, but we'll send you pills to get up at it. I haven't been on medication in 2 months.
I would do the magnesium. Actually, I have magnesium.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
But
and
I have what's called this is from Walmart. It's called Force Factor Ultimate Magnesium for Mind and Body Formula. And what they are is they are just like really good flavored chews.
yeah.
The ones I got are orange creamsicle, so they taste awesome.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah, so things like that, I'll do that because I was told I needed it. And same thing with like potassium. Or another one that's really good for you, which is good for blood circulation and stuff like that as well, is the Human N is the brand name of it. The beets that are it's a
Like
Yeah.
beet juice.
yeah, it's pomegranate juice.
Pomegranate. Okay,
They're
yeah.
flavored. They're flavored. Those are really good too. I do
Well,
that.
when I told Miss Ann was on a live there. Miss Ann Homestead, I think is her name. She's down in North Carolina. Very lovely person, and which I've got some things. I've actually been able to use my hands now better because of the calendula that she makes, and it comes in a little roller and roll it over my
Rub
hand.
it on. Yep.
And I'm actually starting to use my hands again better now. But she is sending me a packet of the things that she naturally makes and everything for the magnesium
Okay.
stuff.
It's Annie Dale Homestead, Lori says.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! I hear them coming back in.
Yeah, Annandale Homestead. Yeah. Familiar. Very familiar.
I love her to death. She is.
What?
He said you're the mini me, meaning the mini him.
Except for you're not so many, Silas.
He says you're not so many.
No.
He's one of three. He's 17. His brother's 15. And then Hunter is 13.
You subtract 2 every time.
Yeah. Which he's getting out of the boot up the butt stage. The 15-year-old is right there, and
Ready to go.
yeah, his dad is watching second. Ha ha ha! Your uncle we just popped you in the thingamajigger. Well, and then I'm waiting on the 13-year-old to get up there to that stage where I can start beating on them.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know how their father is as far as a parental figure is or whatever because I don't know him.
He is good. I'm proud of what he's done.
But what you're doing is probably better.
He's 39.
His dad. Their dad is 39 years old, and
Oh, he's a youngin.
yes, he is, and kind of cut from the same cloth that I was from.
All right.
And being in a small community, I call his dad cousin because his dad probably is a cousin somewhere down the road.
Hey, you're West Virginia. We expect it.
Exactly.
Drake just left. We were out there.
It's like you say, Elon Omar and her brother being married, and she had a daughter. Who knows who the father's daughter is?
And look where she made it in life.
Yeah, it's not her fault she had that for uprising.
But I'll tell you, I always got to remember and think about. I was in her foreign country before she was born.
Yeah.
And but the mindset over there is not the mindset that we want in this country. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go political.
Oh, you're good. You're good. It doesn't matter where we go. We're all adults in here.
Yep. Yeah.
Where are you from?
Well,
Close
almost.
enough. Close enough.
What did you say, Greg?
No, I asked Lori where she says I'm a northern redneck. I asked her where she's from.
Actually,
Oh, really?
Yeah. And actually,
Max. I was
She's
just
farther
there
than
last
us.
week.
and actually, she's maybe 1 or 2 towns over from where I have the records from my great grandfather. He was buried 2 towns over from her in the early 1700s, which is I want to make a trip up, and I'll actually you be good. I need to take you on that trip too,
Oh, okay.
to stop for family grave sites and trace them out.
Wait, Troy, you're not going to be taking him. He's going to be taking you. He has to drive.
Yeah. Politically saying, yes, I agree with you 100%, Greg or David. But
Either that or Lori, you got to come down and pick Greg up and then take him up there and let him.
well, see, me and Lori and everybody on her chat have been talking, which we need to involve you two into maybe next year, or can't do it next year, maybe the year after that. You already know where my house is, and get Lori with y'all, and we do kind of like a reunion.
Upstate YouTube meetup.
That's what I was thinking about is doing
Yeah.
looking into maybe like at one of the big Lake George or
Cool.
in the Adirondacks or
We can do it right here on my property. I don't own the land at the end of my property. I've been trying to buy it off the farmer for a while. And all he said was, well, just keep maintaining it and we'll talk. But I'll be honest with you, if everybody wanted to come up and camp out in that part of the yard, because I do maintain it, he can't say shit about it. We could come up here and camp out and have a good time, and I got a fire pit out back.
Yeah.
I was by your house yesterday, Dave.
Were you?
Yeah, I went up to the town of German.
Okay.
And picked up an axle and 3 tires
Clippers out of the medicine thing with
your
bathroom
from a guy up there.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've been in town in German.
Now you live on 41 North, right?
I live right on 26.
Oh, right on. So I must have went by your house.
Yeah,
get
once you pass the bowling barn in Cincinnati, you go right by my house next.
Love you.
Love you.
You got the bowling barn, an old repair garage, and then my house, and then after that you end up at the town cellar before you get any more houses on my side of the road.
Let's chance breaking this one.
I asked the guy if he knew you, and he said no.
Well, he was in German.
Yeah, but I figured.
Hey,
But yeah,
you know
that'd be
you know
something.
dollar seed? That would be the question to ask because our building sits right in the middle of our driveway.
I don't run into the wall.
Yeah, I asked him if he knew a Dollar Seed, and he's like, no. Him and his wife, they were an older couple. They
Okay.
said that Troy's age. No, I'm just kidding. They
He's the
said
younger of
they
the
pretty
three.
much keep to themselves. I can't read.
Yeah.
You back
I,
up.
I think I see maybe just giving us the count of 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
My mom used to say, if I get to 5, your butt's going to get kicked.
He's gonna help me. He's gonna help me move around here a little bit. Move that chair. Dang, move this.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
I think.
Wait a minute. Why couldn't Silas sit in the chair that Drake was sitting in?
This is it.
More uncomfortable.
This is the chair Drake was sitting in.
Well, what it is, the other
Oh,
chair
you're
that
right.
he,
The other one's back at the desk.
the red chair that he was sitting in, that is an old West Virginia hillbilly porch chair. And of course, he don't know is what you do. Always, the porches was always lean because let the water run out. And you had chairs.
That was cut uneven.
Always
Yeah.
lean the opposite direction so your butt sat straight.
That way you could set level on the porches because the porches was lean so much. So they
Yeah.
You
They
didn't
got-
want to slide out.
yeah.
I have an old rocking chair from Gina's great grandmother. That was made like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why the legs are on level because
Yep.
that way you can set on the porch level.
Yep. The front's built higher than the back.
But that makes him so he sits lower so he looks closer to your size.
Well, that one you could tell it was sitting on like a
Just because his
45
knees are up to
degree
his
angle,
chin doesn't mean
all the legs are different lengths. So
just because his chin are up to his knees doesn't make it bad.
no, this is really fun, and we can go as long as you want to go.
Hey, I really don't care.
Not me neither.
I do. 3:00 in the morning comes early.
Well, that's up to
I have
you.
I have to pick my brother and his girlfriend up to take them to the. We're all going to the flea market tomorrow. I set up at the flea market on Sundays, and so that's why I had to get that trailer done today.
I understand.
Yeah, so
I was supposed to do a garage sale today, but I told Leah when we got up this morning, I was like, she's like, you ready to do the garage sale? And I was like, yeah, no. There's no other sales going on our end of the town. I mean, it's like the day of Cincinnati sales. Everybody in Cincinnati is supposed to have one, and nobody on our end of town had one going on. And I was like, it would be really foolish for us to set up because nobody's going to come out here because we'd be the only one and we're the last one before you leave town.
yeah, I used to set up here in the driveway every weekend, and then my jerk off neighbor, excuse my expression,
Good news,
Wayne,
neighbor.
because
Good news,
people,
neighbor.
he wanted me to tell people they couldn't turn around in his driveway. I'm like, dude, I can't tell people what to do.
Absolutely.
So I go to the flea market. I do better there anyway. You know, as
Back in my younger days, that's actually how I opened my computer store, was by starting at the flea market
yep.
and creating a presence, and then taking everything out of the flea market and moving it into my own shop
Yep.
while I was buying it and building it and whatnot. And people would come to my shop going, I remember you from the flea market. Yeah, well, I hope so. But I never had to worry about anybody worrying about turning around. I had 3 driveways. You could turn around in my yard. You could drive all the way around the building and come out the other side, or you could just whatever, It didn't matter to me, honey. It didn't affect my driveway. My driveway was separate.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Between us, I don't like living in the cities.
I'll be honest with you, Greg, I wouldn't want to live in your house. With a neighbor like that next door, I wouldn't want to live there. You look at where Troy's at. You look at where I'm at.
Yep.
We don't have neighbors that are assholes. Our neighbors,
Well,
they know who we are.
Yeah.
but they
David,
don't
that's
complain
not
about
true
it.
because I got family that lives next door. So,
No, but do they complain about everything you do?
family lives next door.
Your family. You can't use your family as an excuse.
No.
No, I'm just joking and everything. But y'all know what I deal with.
Yeah. You got a nice piece of land there.
It is, but they are too dang close.
Oh, Troy, you ain't seen
Oh,
my
I'm
house.
concerned
Ask
they are.
Dave. Ask Dave about the house where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want close?
Oh my God. He's got neighbors across the street. He's got a neighbor right next door that's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That complains about all kinds of things. I was surprised he didn't complain about me leaving my car parked in your driveway while we went away for our trip.
Well, the guy just bought the property a few years ago, sold his property, 30 acres he had in a house on the 30 acres, sold that, which it's great, good for him. I'm not a bad person, but when you become a dickhead, then yeah.
Oh, that almost sounds like a radio or weather radio going off on somebody.
Not me.
Oh, that's my police scanner.
I'm listening to Grady's right now, but
yeah.
But
yeah, Grady's once again they had to go down and troubleshoot water today. And you know what he ended up doing? He ended up walking into the pump house, tapping the control box to the pump, and then all of a sudden it kicked back on and now they got water again. He's like, I don't know, maybe it's moisture. And I'm like, well, maybe, but I'd be really worried about that. You just replaced all the parts in that control box.
Excuse me.
Yeah. There's little something going on there to break the contact and
yeah. But he just went over, knuckled the box, and the box clicked, and all of a sudden now he's got water pressure again. I was like, man, if that was me, I'd be really worried. I'd be trying to figure something out for a better solution on that.
Well, all you get just take everything apart, clean the contacts, put it back together, and you'll be fine.
Well, he replaced everything in the box here last time because when he went to take it apart, it fell apart.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, that's a bad symbol.
Okay, so now the one goes.
Yeah, it was just like on top of on top of on top. He went around checking all of his electrical boxes and shit. And I was like, they had one time where one of the breakers in the box was actually working. It wasn't tripping, but it was so corroded that it was broken in half. And it would only arc to make contact, and he was like paying a hell of an electric bill without using any electric. And he's like, I don't know why. And then found it, and I was like, dude.
What? There you go. It's.
Hey.
Somebody had zip tape out and wrap your box so it doesn't get any moisture inside. It's my thought.
Hey, Dave, I found you and Troy.
Oh, isn't Troy cute with that little little green bow?
Actually, that's David because he's smaller than I am.
Well, technically This one's bigger than this one, but in the
Wait.
the
My hair is more grayer than his is, so his darker than mine. So, and I will make up a story, anything you want that to make sure. That's David.
Troy, it all depends on how we stand, because if our backs are both bothering us like they were over the mics, we're both about the same height.
and here's me on a bad day of
You're
work.
probably right.
That day hurt me.
yeah.
I was walking hard, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That's why I offered one
That's
day.
me on a
That's why I
bad
offered
day.
one. Come
There it
on.
is. Hey, Greg, can you pull up that picture that you made of us three out there? Three amigos.
I think it's on this computer.
I don't know if I could do it on my phone, but no, I can't actually. I have it on my computer, but I changed it to where it was. We were the Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was show because I can't get my camera to show, so probably I wouldn't be able to show it up here too.
Because I want to get a picture of that, because there's another little lady that's wanting a picture of that for her sake. That actually not saying who she is or anything, because I don't want to bring a name out or
No, we don't want to let Lauren know what we're talking about.
that actually set up our entire trip. If it wasn't for her, we would never have met.
Lauren, she's a great lady.
Troy, do you have my number?
I think, I don't think I have your number. I know I got you on
on Facebook.
Facebook and stuff. I don't have your number.
All right, hit me up on Facebook and ask for that picture. I can send it to you on Facebook.
Okay.
It's 1-900 Don Juan.
Don Juan. I always thought it'd be BR549, but I don't.
If you want to reach me really, really quick, just call 911.
He'll hear the call go across.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the ambulance driver or anything like that, but I can be there in a while.
8 hours.
Don't call me in an emergency.
Yeah. Because it
a long drive.
Just remember, it was only 8 hours from there down to here.
Yeah.
And only, 14 hours from here out
there? Yeah.
11 hours from your house to there.
Okay. It was easy. It was easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
I didn't have a problem with driving that far at all.
I enjoyed it because Greg did most of it. I never even touched the steering wheel of Greg's car until he said, "Oh man, I'm tired. Can you drive?" And I was like, "Yeah." Holy shit! What a difference between going from my new car to his old car. I was like, "Yeah, I can drive." Holy shit! I was like, "Can I keep it on the road?"
But I will tell you this: I was not asleep in the back seat as much as y'all thought I was in it.
No, you just.
I got kind of nervous a couple times because I hollered and said something to David while he was driving, and he never even responded back. He's like, "Oh, yeah."
I thought he was going to hit that semi.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I've never woke up so quick in my life.
Every vehicle drives different.
It does. Hey, I love y'all, both of y'all, and I trust both of y'all.
Yeah,
this will definitely be doing this if we can do it, a yearly thing. If I can, even if it takes me, my truck and him, the kids doing that and getting out there somewhere and set up a base camp for y'all to get there, y'all will have a place out there, and we will be the three amigos.
I didn't mind staying at Drifting Dreamers 5. We had a little bit better sleeping arrangements.
Oh, come on.
It was the same as I was.
The bad part about that was, of course, I didn't want to pull everything I had was encased in that big box. But I had the cot there, I had everything. I offered y'all 2 cots. I said we can take the cots but
I don't think we're going to squeeze another thing into the vehicle on our way down. We were pretty much
those
back to the maximum on the way down. Hell, we were pretty much back to the maximum on the way back.
Well, actually, there was room in the camper that we could have took more.
Yeah.
There was some room.
And I didn't even bring back everything. I gifted the tent, the cot, and the sleeping bag, even the freaking pillow to Amy's son, Moses. And that way, hey, I didn't want to pack it up. I didn't want to carry it back. So
I didn't want to.
But I had already planned that out because
Greg and I both said there's only going to be one more thing we put into the vehicle on the way back, and that's going to be if that solar charger was available. That Mike was given away.
Oh, everything would have been thrown out.
Or one of those big window units that had the flag with all the extras added to it for a veteran.
That
would have come back too. We would have found a way to make that happen.
That was so great.
Oh, they were awesome. They were awesome.
I can't remember the guy's name that made that.
Wasn't it Scott Spencer?
Yes,
I think
it was.
I think
yes,
it was. Yeah. And I might even have to contact him to try to order one of them because I would love to have that.
I would like to get
I'll
one.
be honest with you. If Scott Spencer could do that as a regular, he could make a living doing that.
Oh yeah,
no doubt.
Without a doubt. It doesn't matter what kind of antiques you put on the frame or whatever, like the lanterns and all that stuff, or horses or whatnot. Doesn't matter what you put on the frame. Just a flag in the window like that was special.
That nailed it right there.
Oh, it did. It did. That was the highlight of being there, to be honest with you.
Yep. I'll have to show you a picture of that.
Yeah, those were awesome.
That was a highlight.
That could be a project we can do.
And Greg and I both said that would go back with us.
Yeah.
Greg had somebody he'd give it to. I had my brother I'd give it to. Even though I'm a veteran too, I'd still give it to my brother because he'd deserve it more than I do. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
that was awesome.
Pop deserved it. That's why I'm glad he got it.
Did.
Yeah.
Yes.
He does a lot for
100%.
a lot of people. And I was talking to him that the first night we were there at the campground, and he was telling me his brother served, I think it was in Vietnam, and we were talking about that, and I mean, I get talking to my father-in-law about it, he breaks down in tears.
Yeah,
and that eats me up. Like
I really wanted to meet him.
Yeah.
Out there, but I didn't really know that he even existed until the ride out there, and just hearing y'all talk about him and stuff as like
he's done so much for so many channels.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But
not back to good. He won't help Mike, and I understand this because it was a fucking
right. Yeah.
Between Mike and Gary.
You know what happened.
Anyway, but that was going on. So, but he did so much for like Simple Life Reclaimed and Country Road Living, and David and everybody else in that area. And I think he's helping Des too. I'm not real sure about that, but I think he's doing something for Des too. And I'm just like, this guy's got a heart of gold.
Yep.
And he knows that when you die, you can't take it with you.
Well, it's not even, I mean, I think he said he had kids in California or something, and he knew David when David lived in Tampa.
Yep.
I think that's what they said. They're all good people. I think they have
yes, they are.
Even David, I mean, as much as I know Mike's his nephew and all that. But David's got my only thing is I tell people, I expect people to be real all the time.
Wasn't me.
Not just on camera, We talked about it on the way back.
Yes, we did.
You know, be real all the time. And
Exactly.
some of the people I saw a difference
A
from
different side.
them on camera and
A
them in
different
person.
side. Yep.
And that gave me a bad taste.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
I told Lauren this when I talked to her on the phone. You know, I've had my YouTube channel since 2023. Actually, we've got 3 of them. It's just I mainly focus on this one. That we've had since 2020, actually. But I'm not gun ho on, because I work full time still.
right.
And so I understand like Mike and Lissa, that's their livelihood.
Yes.
And that's why that
Yeah.
camera that I give Mike, the GoPro 13,
Yeah.
he could use it more than I would. And I
Because
do things
that's feeding their family basically.
yeah, I do things. I give people things because I think they can use it.
Yep.
Or if they
Yes.
I have
Yeah.
it, I don't need to make money off of stuff. I'm not rich by any means. By any means, but I enjoy doing things for others, and
Yeah, speaking of which, Troy, remember beating on that PTO drive shaft for 2 days over there?
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
You know,
I didn't know,
I wanted to so much jump in, but I was like,
I can't mention who broke that little hook.
Yeah.
if I didn't know,
can't do anything, so I was like, I want to, but I can't because.
if I didn't known that I could have just said, Greg gave me the keys and drive 15 minutes. Well, I think it was more like 20 minutes down the road to the local tractor supply and bought that drive shaft brand new for $125. We would not have touched it.
No.
Remember
Right.
how many shops we
No,
went to trying to get that thing fixed?
Yeah.
And Mike was talking about doing it again. I was like, stop. I
That
just
was
ordered you the part.
That was the same price as the rental unit for the thingamajigger that we tried to get that didn't even work.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. If I
Fuller.
didn't know I could have gone, if I didn't know I could have gone 20 minutes down the road, and just bought the part for $125, it would have been paid for.
Yeah.
I joked on the way down. Let's just stop over to Duval's and let me pay off the building so we don't have to sleep in a tent. I wasn't joking. I would have paid it. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, somebody else did.
Yeah. But when we went out there, it wasn't about trying to make yourself something that you're not. It was just, we are family.
Yep.
What can we do to help you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then that's what I do with these kids and stuff, trying to teach them.
Yeah.
And like I told you out there,
I look back at the time we spent on that drive shaft. If we never touched it, we would have been able to put that patio well shed together.
yeah.
No,
we wouldn't have.
Most of it.
Because the screws were in the car.
Yeah, that's right.
Dang.
But we could have mixed up cement and carried water and been able to do some of the fencing for the goats.
Yeah. I mean,
we could have done that. But we spent a lot of time on that drive shaft and for no reason at all.
Yeah.
It actually cost more to fix it than it would have been just to not even bother with touching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you don't try,
you don't know.
Who knows? It could have came right off.
Yeah. Well, we tried. We tried very hard.
Yeah.
I tell these boys that if you don't try to do something,
you never know.
Well, not only you never know, you will never accomplish anything.
That's right.
Well, not only that, but
you'll have regret the rest of your life.
But not only that, money is not always the answer to be able to solve a problem.
No.
Exactly. Let me tell you guys.
Sometimes you got to put a little bit of elbow grease in to find out you can fix it for free, or maybe you can't, and you just have to walk away from it. And that was the thing I learned from that. Just walk away from it. We wasted too much time on it, and we actually ended up going backwards rather than going forwards. Right. And it was like I found that drive shaft, and I was like, Mike, what about this part from Tractor Supply? Do you think this will work? Well, they were on their way to Florida when I sent him the text message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the message back from him until they got back from Florida. And he says, yes, I think it'll work. I said, well, then don't touch it. I would just send you a new one.
Yeah, he was going to take it to a machine shop and have them.
While we was out there, I was kind of thinking, like, this is going to be a lot of money for something. And I didn't want to say, but what would a new one cost? Because that's always what you have to base.
I did not think it was going to be that cheap.
Yeah. I was looking on Marketplace in that area to see if people had them. And the whole thing, I found some, but in my opinion, and I grew up around farms. My grandparents had a farm and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What they wanted was ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
for the whole thing. They wanted like $800-900.
No way. No.
And that was crazy. And
it's the same thing with that auger. That's a PTO shaft that he was fighting with for months and months.
Yeah,
it's not the same PTO shaft. It's a totally different one. But if I can buy this one for $125, how much would it cost to just replace the PTO shaft on the one you can't get to slide?
Right.
Well, if you think about it, PTO shaft is the most common thing between a tractor and any implement.
Yeah.
That you put behind it.
Yeah.
So.
And they come in different sizes, different lengths. That was the thing with me.
Right.
Is this one going to work for what we were trying to do? It goes 37 to 50 inches. We were trying to play with 48. Yes, that was exactly what he needed. We tested it. We already knew that was going to work. 48 was perfect.
Have you guys heard about John Deere?
I heard John Deere was coming back to America.
No, they're filed bankruptcy.
They filed bankruptcy, and actually, last I heard, they are not coming back to the United States.
Nope, they filed bankruptcy.
Well, they fired 99% of their engineers in the United States so they could make the move to Mexico and hire new ones for cheaper. And they were going to move the whole company down there, but I heard they were coming back to the United States.
Nope.
No.
Last week they filed bankrupt. And they're telling people if you have a John Deere, you better buy your parts now.
Yep.
Because you won't be able to get them.
I've got a John Deere zero-turn riding mower. But the only thing I need, we got local shops called S&D Partners, which took over the John Deere local one.
Yeah.
And I can go buy anything I need for John Deere through them.
Well, you better get extra parts now because they're not going to be available.
Yeah.
You'll be happy.
I can say they won't be as cheap. Mower blades especially.
Yep.
Their mower blades aren't special size mower blades. Any mower blade will work for them pretty much.
Yeah.
You can buy it from MTD or somebody else. But what they do have special is the design of where the blade attaches. Some come in stars, some come in squares, some come in circles with 2 extra bolts. But their whole blade design was like pretty much John Deere only. And I can't go to Lowe's and buy it, even though Lowe's sells the tractors. I can't go to Lowe's and buy replacement blades.
There's a difference. The John Deeres you buy at Lowe's or any other big stuff, they are not John Deere at all.
No,
they are built different companies.
Yep.
And they buy the brand name that way they can put them on their equipment.
Yeah,
and
it's
the parts don't intermix.
MTD white.
My friend up here who owns a lawnmower repair shop.
Yeah.
He's And he told me that they're not the same.
Nope, they're
Because,
not. I have my one
mine
neighbor.
Mine has a welded deck, and if you go to Lowe's to buy a John Deere, it has a stamp deck. You can't buy a stamp deck of my mower from John Deere. It doesn't work. They're welded. They're welded.
they don't make them.
Right.
Well, John Deere does, but MTD White doesn't, and that's who bought out the licensing in the United States for John Deere.
My neighbor, he was a John Deere dealer for years, and he still does lawnmower repairs for, local people. And he'll buy a John Deere mower off of like Marketplace and rebuild it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, if you buy them from Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever, a big box store, they're not actual John Deere.
Exactly.
He said they buy the label and put it on there, and
they don't come with a warranty.
Nope.
Well, and the thing about it, if you go to a John Deere place,
they do.
They can't even get the parts to fix that.
No, look,
mine can right now, but with the tariffs and stuff, and with them moving out of the U.S., the prices are going to go way up.
Yep. Yeah, they won't. There was a big thing on I can't remember if it was YouTube or I watched a video. A guy went to a John Deere tractor place. He needed something, and they told him, "Good luck finding it."
I got it.
Nature's calling.
No. More importantly, I got to give my nephew a hug. Bye.
Oh.
I love you, boy. Give your brothers and your family about love my love.
They're actually at the house this time, so.
They should. Right. Sorry about that, but that's more important.
Love you.
Love you too, buddy.
All right, later.
See ya.
But yeah, I mean, it's sad because John Deere's been in business forever. I mean, that's the only tractors my grandparents owned. John Deere.
I have a friend in Pennsylvania who owns a very, very big vegetable farm, and they run the harvesters and all that stuff.
Yep. And
the new John Deere tractors, if something goes wrong with them, they have to be worked on by a John Deere technician.
Yep.
Yes.
Because John Deere decided to move to Mexico, they have to pay a lot of money to get a John Deere technician to come and work on it. And the chances of them being able to get the parts they need, they can get the parts, but it'll take forever because right now John Deere moved, but they didn't set up the manufacturing. So if they don't have parts in stock, it can't happen.
Yeah, no, they're not going to do nothing now that they filed bankruptcy. That's why they're telling
they
people.
Probably still can. They probably still can, but it's going to be very limited of what's going to be available.
Yeah. I mean, when at the meetup, I talked to Wiley. He was telling me they told him I think it was 2 months to get the part for his tractor.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you can search the internet and look up the parts.
Good night,
you
Lori.
Might be able to find a dealer somewhere that has that part you need. But you're going to be paying out the ass and the shipping and handling to get the part that you need because it's not going to be local.
Right.
It could be some tractor dealer in California or Washington or down in Texas.
My buddy used to drive for a company out of I think it was Wisconsin or Iowa maybe. And they used to haul for John Deere. And not no more.
My uncle, he has a big garage, and he's a farm boy. So he used to take all the John Deeres that would fall off the back of the trucks.
Yeah. I
in New York, right?
Talk about that.
Well, there was a lot
Brilliant.
brand new tractors in the crate would fall off the back of a truck, and he would get them brought to his garage, and he would put them back as brand new, and then send them back. And it was a lot of money, a lot of money. I mean, if you had to replace a hood on a John Deere tractor, you're talking probably $350. Not counting his time to take it down and replace it and do all that stuff. But he was going in and replacing these things to put them back as brand new, and then sending them back to John Deere with a bill. So when you go there to buy a tractor, the original price might have been like, I don't know, $3,500 for a lawnmower. That price just went up because my uncle just charged a fortune to fix that tractor because it fell off the back of the truck.
Yeah.
You know, if your $3,500 tractor may be $4,000 or higher now.
Yep.
And he always based it on what was the cost of the pieces that I needed to replace, based how much of my time I had to put into it. And he had a lot of tractors in there where it was like total motor replacement. Well, those aren't cheap. You know? And there's other times where you would have to go in and say, well, the whole bottom frame has to be replaced because it got tweaked when it fell off the truck. Now I need a whole new bottom frame, and I got to rebuild the whole tractor from that frame up. Well, that's a couple $1,000s extra on the price of your tractor, even though you probably could have bought it for $3,500 down the road. Wherever that tractor ends up, your price just went up to $6,500. You know, because he had to wait for the part, he had to put it together, and it took up shop space. He charged for shop space, he charged for his time, and he was making a fortune doing it. He told me it was the most lucrative thing he ever got into. And I was like, how did you get locked into this? And he says, I just asked. He knew they were falling off the trucks.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there.
No.
That's
I'm a
genius.
shop, I'm capable, and I got the room. So just bring it on. And they did. They brought it on. And I mean, his whole garage, his garage was like 4 bays long. Plus, they had another room on the end that was like for catering and stuff like that. So on the weekends, they would do catering, and during the week, he would fix these tractors. His tractor always sat outside because he could never pull it into his own garage. It was always full. And I was like, man, how many of these do you do a week? And he says, how many I bring in a week, or how many do I send out a week? Because what I bring in is a lot higher than what I send out.
Yeah.
Because you got to wait for the parts.
There's like another guy that I follow, which he's a great guy, him and his wife. And of course, you know, I try to share with y'all the people I know, because I'm learning from y'all, and I'm trying to share with you
Always appreciate
all the people I know. But Dale at 9 Acre Family Farms.
Oh yeah.
He is his job is he teaches in a community college working on tractors, and mainly John Deere tractors.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that about him.
Yeah.
I know Dale and Nana for a long time now. I did not know that.
Yeah. I love them to death. They're both great. And
They are. I did not know that. Hey, by the way, while we're here, we got a few extra people watching. Troy, what's the name of your channel?
My channel is Troy Sutton 421, but I'm trying to learn on it. That way I can actually, when I go full blown with my actual channel that I want to use, which is Scruffy Mountaineer Patriot.
Okay.
And
Greg, your turn.
And the boys, they have came down in the last couple of days. They have made me a icon and making short videos for to
Intro.
carve it, blend into it, and then blend into whatever the video it is. And actually, Reverend Dream actually wrote a song for me last night and sent it to me to where I could run that song through it, because he knows I have problem speaking to what actually going on. We can talk now good, but me to try to speak and what's going on, that's not going to happen. But.
Okay. Greg, your turn.
Mine is hitting the road with G and G. The G and G is Greg and Gina. We like I said, we've been doing it since 2023. It's mostly, me traveling in the truck. Mushu our pug used to go with me, but since when I went back to work after taking a month off, they didn't want the dog in the truck no more. No, nobody could have pets in the trucks. So I do film storage units. Like I've got one on my phone because I like filming on my phone better than I do on a GoPro.
I agree.
And so I try to get them out, but since I've been back to work, I really haven't had a chance. Because doing projects here at the house and stuff like that, I just haven't had a chance. I know people tell you don't say a lot or don't say but I'm being myself. This
Right.
That's what
is
it's about.
myself. Everybody has to do what they do, not what others do. And
Right.
you can take advice from others. And I'm the type of person, I don't hide nothing from anybody. And
True. Very true.
I mean, and that's why I say if people need to be real all the time, not just on camera. I know, if somebody's having a cigarette or whatever on their video, it doesn't do great. But that's the magic of editing. You can't get mad at people. That's not even in the shot or in the video, like we're talking,
Or as I said, you can't diss me because I'm smoking a cigarette on your video when you can record somebody else who smokes cigarettes on your video.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
It's
saying.
for them, but not for me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Be real all the time,
Yes, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
if people like watching you, they're gonna watch you. If they don't like watching you, they're not gonna watch you.
Yep. I
And
agree.
I'm the type, you could ask my wife. I say it all the time. I do not care if people like me. I'm, as my brother and I joke all the time, we're German, Irish, and Scottish with a little Indian in us. And we're one pissed off drunk, even though I don't drink. You know what I mean? So
And that's
really,
true.
I really don't care what people think about me. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. And I look at it this way: if people get offended, it's on them, not on me. I'm being me, and that's the only, and my channel's not just about driving, it's about DIY, it's about home vlogs, doing everything.
Greg, you hit on something right there. I don't mean to jump in.
No, you're good. Go ahead, Troy.
But you hit the nail on the head right there. And it's what I've seen with us three going out there. We are us. We are
real.
we are.
We're real.
If you don't like it,
too bad. Yep.
Don't care.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the thing. And that's
we have a family. We are actually building our family even better.
We three actually have a really good thing going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
If something says something, you say something.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who did it, why they did it, or how they did it. If we see it, we say it because that's the way we're real. We're people. We're not out to impress the YouTube community or out to make everybody feel good about what we are, because we don't do things that they think are taboo or whatever. If we say it, we say it, and if we say it, it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, leave. There's another channel.
I mean, there's other
Yeah.
channels out there. I
Don't care.
Yeah.
I did that when I had one night where I had almost a 5-hour live with me, Tasha, and Brett from Butt Nuggets Homestead on.
Okay. Yeah. Now I know
And
you.
I said, you know what? I smoke. If you guys want to smoke, smoke. Because we were online for 5 hours. I'm dying for a cigarette. I'm going to light a cigarette. You guys want to smoke, smoke. I don't care. And Brett kept disappearing from camera. And I was like, why do you keep disappearing from camera? And he says, well, I don't want everybody to see me drinking. I said, if you drink, drink. I don't care.
Exactly.
We're all adults.
Yeah.
We're all
I
adults.
remember that.
I don't
Nobody has the right to judge anybody.
No.
No.
The only person that could judge people is God. And
That's right.
there ain't a one of us in this whole YouTube community or in this whole world that is him.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
I mean, we all can, I chew. Do I think it's right? No. But
No, it's not.
I
Do
used to
thought
smoke
other people
cigars.
did? No.
I used to
Since
smoke
you said
cigarettes.
that, dang it, you got me going again.
But-
Greg got me going when we were on our way out of Binghamton.
Yep.
Greg got me going. My brother smoked like a smokestack. I have no issue. If you want to smoke a cigarette, Dave, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm gonna be respectful. I'm not gonna smoke all the time we're driving down the road, you know?
Yeah.
When I'm driving, that's a little different story because now there's a little more stress added to it. But when I'm sitting as a passenger, okay, I can go probably an hour and a half without a cigarette. But if I'm driving, you might be able to half hour between them or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what people they
You know,
people
we're
these days
real
have forgot.
people. We're real people. We're respectable to each other. We're respectable to everybody else around us. That's
Exactly.
what I expect YouTube to
That's
do. We're not about, I'm going to show a certain face now because I'm on big camera that I'm not real on when I'm not on camera because I want you to see who I really am. I don't care what you think I am, what you think I am.
Yeah.
I want you to see who I really am. And by the way, I want to take the last time to this one on this part. My name's Dave Moffett. I run HalfAss Homestead. And if you know me, you'll understand where that name came from. I'm on my 4th flock of chickens right now in a 2-year span because I have to deal with a Fisher cat. And that Fisher cat has been eating my chickens so much that I've got a gun sitting next to my back door ready to take it out, even though it's illegal to hunt in New York. I don't care. It's costing me money. And in New York State, if something costs you money, you have a legal right to make it so it doesn't cost you money. So that's me. And I don't care. My gun is fully loaded and sitting right next to my back door. It got so bad. I was looking out a back window in a bedroom of my house one day, watching a Fisher cat eating one of my chickens with my gun in my hand, so ready to just shoot the window out and shoot the damn Fisher cat. If a Fisher cat smells a person, they eliminate the area. It got to the point where somebody told me we were just piss in the jar and pour piss around the chicken coop. It smells human, it won't go near it. Yeah, that's true until it rains. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we'll go out and get this wolf piss and spray all these little pads and put them around. Yeah, that's good till it rains. And I got so mad I just quit doing it. Make it home. Hey, how you doing, guys? So it was like a constant battle with these chickens. I think I finally got it figured out. I went in and I dug all the way around the inside of the chicken run where the Fisher cat was getting in. I filled it with cement, all hand mixed in 5-gallon buckets. It was all good. I got it all going for me and whatnot. But my channel isn't just about me trying to raise chickens and trying to raise a half-ass homestead. I also have a 1900s house I'm remodeling. I have a wood shop. I had an employee who made it so my wood shop was damn near impossible to use. I brought in a dumpster. I emptied the wood shop as best as I could. It's still full of stuff that I just refuse to throw away. And I need to organize, but I'm working on trying to build a new garage so I don't even need to worry about this one anymore. And I will be doing videos of me working with wood and rebuilding a stair step and doing all kinds of stuff. But right now, I just can't do it because I can't use my shop. So that's me. You know what I'm saying? Making it home. Yes, they made it into the house.
Lauren got flashed. Whoop.
Oh Lord! Oh, I didn't hear you.
My eyes.
Wait, Lauren, I didn't hear you say, "Hey, what'd you call me? Handsome." Greg and Gina. Lori, why are you in here? Lauren and Joel, why are you here? Greg, are you typing on your computer while you're talking on live?
Yes.
Lauren made this happen. This is her. This is all because of her. So she's to blame.
It's not a blame. It's a good thing.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is. I'll be honest with you. I think our trip going down together was probably one of the best times I've had in a long time. A lot of people ask my girlfriend, Leah, why didn't you go down with him? And she's like, I got a business to run. He can leave. That's my option. My job is just make sure payroll is done on Tuesday. I can do whatever I want until Tuesday rolls around.
But you know, that was the first thing I've been able to do in dang near 20 years. Being hospitalized and everything, and actually getting to walk again for the second time, and meeting with everybody, that people that actually care about you for who you are, not what you are.
Huh.
And
I'll be honest with you. When I went to the first meetup down there in 2023, I just got out of surgery. Not too much before that. I could barely walk.
yeah.
And I was like, I don't care. I'm still going to go. Leah was like, well, you just got done with it. I don't care. I can still walk. I can't walk great, but I can still walk. We're going to go. And that's when I first got together with Drew from Drew's Lens. I first got together with Jeff from HalfAss Homestead and Lindsay from Into the Mist. That was an awesome meeting with them guys. I actually followed them into the park and shared it on a video of me following them into the park in Lindsay's dad's truck. That was so cool.
Yeah.
When they pulled in, I pulled in. I found a spot underneath the shade tree because I wasn't going to park out where they parked. And the first thing I did when I got out is I walked over and I shook Drew's hand. And I was like, dude, man, I got news for you. I'm Dave Moffat. And he looked at me and he was like, that was too cool. I was like, what? He says, for you to walk up and tell me who you were the way you did. I mean, I'm walking with a major limp. And he was like, that was too cool. The way you walked over and introduced yourself to me. He actually called Lindsay over to me and says, Lindsay, this is Dave Moffat. And she's like, oh my God, come up and give me a big hug. And I was like, this is too cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one. That was the first time I met Peter King. And it was the first time I met a lot of these guys. Mike from MT Homestead, Dave from Come On Homesteading, Tim, Ridge Life. You know, it was the first time meeting all these people because I had never met any of these guys in person. It was the first trip down. And
Yeah.
Leah at the time didn't know anybody because she doesn't watch videos with me. And she was like, wow, this is really cool. Leah did get to meet Marcel and Denise Grady. And I'll be honest with you, those two and us two hit it off big time.
Yeah, I like Marcel a lot.
Oh, we hit it off big time. Marcel was leaning up against a tree and Denise was standing beside him. And when I went over there and I said, Marcel, Denise, hi, I'm Dave Moffat. He looked at me and said, oh my God, the Dollar Seed guy. And I was like, yeah. Of course, my shirt said Dollar Seed on it. That kind of was like a giveaway. But he was like, oh my God, the Dollar Seed guy. And both of them come up and give me a good hug and shit. And before we weren't even planning on leaving. We were just going back to the car so I could get my guitar out so I could go play guitar with Mike from 3 Mississippi. because we made an agreement. You bring your guitar, I'll bring my guitar, and we'll play a couple songs together. And we went over to the Ridge Club, and we did it over there. Marcel sent Denise to their vehicle to grab a couple shirts to bring it to us, thinking we were leaving without saying goodbye. And I said, we're not leaving. We're just going to grab the guitar, make sure it's in tune, and we're going to go over here to the Ridge Crib. They didn't come over to the Ridge Crib with us. But they made sure that we weren't able to leave without saying goodbye. And I was like, that was really, really cool.
I have to run really quick to the other room. But
don't run, you might trip.
With it, yeah, that's the understatement.
You're supposed to have the bedside jug sitting right there beside you. You shouldn't have to walk away.
You need a soda
I
bottle.
quit drinking. I quit driving for a while.
Troy, here you go. It's a soda bottle.
I was going to offer him one with a bigger hole, but okay.
TMI. Y'all are brothers.
Dave, when I
That was good. Poor boy.
when I was picking up that unit yesterday down in by Carbondale, down by Scranton,
Right.
the manager come over and says, "Hey, I got another unit. You can have it for free. You just got to clean it out." I'm like, "All right, cool." He said, "There's some beer signs and stuff over there," and I'm like, "All right, I'll take them."
That's
So we
awesome.
went over and cleaned that one out before we cleaned the one I purchased out. And as we were finishing that one, he goes, "I got another one. There's a bass guitar in it." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "You can have it. Go clean it out for me and keep everything." I'm like, "Cool." So I got a bass guitar and a regular, I call it a regular guitar.
You want to get rid of it? I'm getting ready to have a major guitar sale. I've got probably, 6, 7 guitars in my house right now. I'm going to be listed.
It's not a top of the line brand. It's called First Act. Is the brand.
I can find out what the value is, mark it down a little bit, give you a little kickback on it. I've got a whole bunch of them in my house right now that I'm going to be listing really, really soon on Marketplace. A lot of them. If I could throw a base into that would be cool.
I'm gonna take it to the flea market tomorrow and see what I get for it. If it doesn't sell, I'll get a hold of you and
all right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be doing it. I mean, we were supposed to have a garage sale today. I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I've got a electric 12-string. I've got an electric acoustic 12-string. I've got an electric 6-string. I've got a 6-string banjo. I've got another electric SG style electric 6-string. I've got one up here I don't think I'm going to be selling anytime soon. I think I'm going to hang on to that one just because even though I cut my finger and it hurts like heck to play guitar, I may hang on to this one for a while just to keep trying. But
look at that one.
I got an amp, I got a PA system, and I've got all kinds of other stuff going on. I may just do like a big garage sale on guitar kind of things. What the heck is that, Troy?
It's a shovel guitar.
Yeah. I've
only seen one other of the ones like that.
It's only
Somebody else had one. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's only a 3-string.
Well, that's all you need because one is the rhythm, then you have the
2 bass strings.
Well, the rhythm, the string is actually like the vocals.
David, you see Lauren's post?
And yeah,
that's nice, Troy.
You're gonna have to come down and learn how to play this. That's actually a Justin Johnson limited edition guitar he made from Nashville. And
yeah, that's where I saw the one when I lived in Shelbyville. A guy had one
Yeah.
from Nashville like that.
Yeah. And
I don't want to interrupt a whole lot here, but Lauren has just put one out. I'm in the market for a banjo, name her price David. All right, Lauren, I'm gonna be real honest with you. Mine is not a 5-string banjo, which is typical. Mine is a 6-string that tunes like a guitar. You can play it like a guitar, or you can play it like a banjo. And I'm gonna sell this one for probably. I bought it on sale, like a big markdown for like $200. I will let that go for probably 125, but for me to ship it to you would probably be in the neighborhood of about another, I don't know, $35 maybe, somewhere around there. And I'd have to find a way to package it.
Yeah. And if Lauren don't want it, I will take it.
Yeah.
Dave, you could get oversized boxes.
Yes.
And you would have to wrap it really, really good.
Oh, I got bubble wrap. Don't let that fool you, man. I ship time.
Or go to the local gun shop. Somebody that sells guns, that has guns coming, and get the box from them. And you,
we live in New York, Troy. We don't have gun shops.
I forget about that.
We don't even have local gun shops anymore. They closed them all down.
Dave, you could go to Harbor Freight. I was there today.
Yeah.
Harbor Freight sells them. If I find one in a store, I was bidding on a storage unit in the same facility yesterday that had crossbows, guns, the clay pigeons. I mean, it had everything. My max was $400, and it ended up going for $940.
Wow. No, it depends on the crossbow. I actually got a crossbow I'll sell too. It's a tactical crossbow. This thing has 6 bolts in it. You like pull the handle down.
Yep.
Bring it up. It locks the first one in, pulls the string back, locks the bolt in. You pull the trigger. You pull the handle down. You bring it back up. You pull the trigger. It throws the next one out, and you can do 6 in a row with it. It's a tactical crossbow. I paid a lot of money for it.
I've seen them.
I'm not really a big guy on anybody that's ever shot a crossbow. Most of them, if they don't have a way to like have a handle to pull the line back, and you got to do it by hand. I did have one of those. I sold that thing right after I bought it. I didn't know that you had to put the bolt into it in order to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So I loaded it, and I was like, "Fuck, you got to put a bolt in there." So I took the point off the bolt, so it was just a straight bolt with no point on it. And I aimed it at I had a big saw blade on the front of my wood shop that was probably 150 feet away. In the center of that saw blade was about maybe 1.5 inches in diameter. I pulled up on that thing. I lined it up with that center hole. I hit the center hole. It hit the door. It slid to the saw blade and then bucked off, and I couldn't find it. We had 3 guys searching that whole property looking for it.
Yeah.
And then the next day I was walking down to go down and help clean up after the party afterwards, and it was in the middle of the driveway. Nobody looked in the driveway. We were all looking in the yard. I had a kid tap me on the shoulder going, "Great shot." I didn't know where he came from. So once I pulled the trigger and it hit, I was looking at it, but when it bounced back, the kid tapped me on the shoulder, so now I'm turning my head and I don't know where it landed. And it was funny because I was like, wow, okay, I just wasted that bolt. I wasted that bolt bad. There was no way you'd ever put another tip on that bolt. That whole aluminum end on the end of the ferrule there, that was so shredded it wasn't even funny. But if they had like a regular like 3-point bolt like you use for going out and shooting deer, I don't know if that one would shoot it, but you could do it with you could just do it with a target bolt and probably take a deer down with it.
Oh yeah.
The thing was ferocious.
And they work for squirrels too, and rabbits and small game.
I think if you were to shoot that at a squirrel, it would go right through it and keep right on going.
Yeah,
that thing was powerful.
Yeah, they
I don't know what the poundage was, but it took 2 hands and 2 feet to pull that.
the one that was in that
Pull it
unit.
up
It
and
was
locked it in. And then I dropped the bolt in because I had to put a bolt in it in order to shoot it off to take the tension off the strings. Man, that thing went hard. And I was like, oh, that was so cool. And I was like, yeah, that's a deer hunting bow, but I didn't have a license and I didn't have a bow permit and I didn't want to be caught with it. And I was just like, yeah, somebody wanted it. And I was like, I'll make a deal with you. I just bought it because I thought it was cool. Same thing with my tactical bow. I don't have a deer hunting license with a tactical bullet, the tactical one that I've got.
yeah.
But I've got all 6 bolts to it because I've never shot it. I put it together once, I took it back apart, put it back in the case, and said, "That's a nice bow."
Yeah. See, that's why I would not ever live in New York State.
I've got out of here twice and it came right back. Next time I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
I was
Lauren, if you're still in here, look.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, Lauren, I'm gonna be honest with you. You said
Gotta
give it
come
to
to your way
Troy.
next week.
It would be cheaper. 6 string is what I learned on. Like I said, I'll sell that for like $125, and I'll ship it. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If you don't want me to ship it to you, I won't ship it to you. I'll figure out what it costs and I'll ship it to Troy. Troy's closer than you are, but it doesn't matter. It's just how do I ship it? That's my big thing. You know.
The best thing
I have a lot of guitar stores near me where I could probably just go in and get a regular guitar box.
See,
I could go down in the Greg's area. They got a guitar center down there and just say, hey, you got an extra box that you're not using? Because they bring them in, and when they sell them, they don't sell them in the boxes. They sell them right off the rack. So I could probably go to Guitar Center and say, hey, I need a box for a 6-string banjo. And they'd probably be able to hang on to one and say, okay, we got one, do it, you know?
Yeah. Well, see, I got one actually, of course, it's in storage with everything else, which I can't try to get out of storage. But it's actually a cigar box guitar that I actually started building for my uncle.
Cigar box banjo?
Yes. And
cool.
which I met. Actually, the reason I started building it was because I found a license plate from the van that he had in 1976.
I was 3 years old.
I was 5 years old. But and I started making a banjo.
No problem, Warren. Anytime.
Yeah, using the license plate as the reverb metal.
Yep.
But unfortunately, he passed away last year, so I'll never be able to finish it for him. But it will be done, and I'm going to give it once it's done to his son. So
yeah,
I'll be honest with you. Up until like just recently, a lot of people, because when I got hurt, a lot of people thought, well, you know, you can't go to work. I haven't worked my regular job now since 2022.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, you must have all time to sit around and play guitar. Actually, no, I don't. I could have played guitar. I just didn't have an interest in it. My foot hurt so bad for a while there where I couldn't play. My guitars were all upstairs. I was downstairs. I do have one downstairs now, but it wasn't. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to try to go upstairs and grab a guitar and try to get that thing back down the stairs. I couldn't walk. And so for the first 2 years, I couldn't even put a guitar in my hands. And then just recently, I cut my finger. I bought a brand new knife from Harbor Freight. Icon stainless steel knife. If you buy one, be very careful. They are razor sharp. I opened the knife up. I went to open the box. I got my finger in the wrong spot, and I took the end of my finger and just sliced the heck out of it. And now I have this like, after I went for stitches, I have this like goldfish looking smile on my finger. And if I play guitar, that string of the guitar goes right into that smile. And that is such still tender area that I just can't play guitar anymore. And I'm like, man, I've been doing this all my life, and now I just kind of have to give it up, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's just like what the project way back there in the back with.
Yeah, your project back there is awesome.
But when I start getting all this medical issues and stuff, and can't use my fingers and hands and stuff, that all went to the backside. That's a year's work there, and hopefully I can get back to start going to it again. But I'm physically unable, but then medically I was I did not want to do it because it just hurt so much.
Yeah, I understand that. I've got arthritis so bad now in my hands. I'm 60 years old. I've got arthritis in my hands so bad. I used to. This is. I'm gonna be. We talk about being real.
Yeah.
I physically had to smoke weed in order to make the arthritis calm down enough to make me want to play guitar.
Yeah. And I know people.
I did that, but the problem is I smoke cigarettes, and my lungs don't have the capacity that they used to have because I do smoke cigarettes, and because I smoke cigarettes, I can't smoke weed like I used to, and now I got other alternatives. I could do gummies, or I could do chocolate chews, or I could do whatever I wanted to. I could do a vape that would probably allow me to still breathe. But the problem is that I can't play guitar anymore. So I kind of gave all that up.
Yeah.
I had to. It was like, I got it, but I had to give it up.
Yeah.
Because it was one of them things of being, I did this for enjoyment. I did it as an entertainer. So, I mean, I played out. I played out a lot. I actually got paid in Florida a whole lot of money for playing out.
Yeah.
And
there's things you can do. There's exercises for that.
Yeah, but I can't do it from my finger where I cut it.
Right. But let me get something, which a gag gift for somebody. But it actually, I figured that I would get the gag gift for somebody. But it actually would work. It actually is a lung exercise machine. But
I'm not really worried about
for kids.
Sorry, I'm not really worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all because I can't do it anymore. My entertainment days are over.
Yeah, I always wanted to try to learn, but I'm to the point now.
Well, Greg, this is the thing that's going on for me right now. Tomorrow's Father's Day. And I was asked by somebody, I don't remember who it was. I was asked by somebody, would you be willing to put together a video of your father's appreciation of what made your father special? And I'm like, yeah, I'd be willing to put something like that together. I have photos on my phone that I plan on putting into a video, and I plan on doing, like an overtalk and just dropping these videos in or pictures in and stuff and talking about my dad. And just saying, yeah, I'm interested in doing this kind of a video. And my mom has been harassing me going, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? I said, well, Father's Day is tomorrow. She even asked me today, are you going to do it? Well, tomorrow's Father's Day. I did the wedding one in 10 minutes. So it's not like it's going to take me a whole long time to put this thing together.
Yeah.
But the thing is what do I need to do to be able to pull it off, to make it be the best that it can be, and share it not just here on YouTube, but also share it on Facebook. What made my father special, And
That's really cool.
If I do it, it's going to be awesome. If I don't do it, it's going to be my ass because my mom's going to keep giving me hell, even though she's 90 years old. she can still kick my ass.
Yeah.
Of course.
You
See,
know.
I couldn't. I can't do something like a video like that. You know, I know my dad, my real father, but when I was about 8 years old, I cut my left thumb completely off. It was just left by skin, and um, you know, as a little kid, you're in the hospital, and who do you want to see? Your parents. My mom was there. My father brought my brothers and sisters to the hospital because he drove taxi cab at the time. I mean, my parents were separated,
Right.
but he would never come up and see me.
Right.
And I held a grudge against him until I was about, I think, 35 years old. I finally let it go. And because I felt, you know, I mean, I'm a Christian and I believe in the Bible and everything, and I believe in forgiveness and all that. That was holding me back, you know. And when my real father passed away, I mean, he wasn't here, he was in Georgia. But when he passed away, I cried like a little baby because I felt so guilty about that. So I mean, I could feasibly do a video like that, but I just I
Right.
can't, you know.
I'm gonna,
I mean,
I'm gonna bring this out. Same thing. It's almost the same case scenario. When I grew up, my dad was always working. He was never home. Okay. I mean,
yep,
always working. Always working. He was a working fool. He worked at a feed mill when I was first born, and he worked for Rich Plan Foods for a while. He did all kinds of things. He was a city plumbing inspector in our town for a while in Cortland. And I did not get along with my dad. We both played music, and my dad would always come into the room when I was playing guitar and going, "You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong." And I was like, you know what? Get the fuck out. I'm doing it my way.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Elvis Presley made a living doing this, so get the hell out of here. And it got to be to the point where I despised my dad. And then when I got to be about, I'm gonna say probably about 35 years old, maybe 30, my dad started appreciating the way that I played music. And when I went to Florida, and I actually hit the circus with him, he finally started saying, "Yeah, I'd like to proudly introduce my son." I was up on stage when I was 5 years old playing Wipeout, for crying out loud, with his band as the closer. You know what I'm saying? I'd
Right.
wipe out the drummer, and then they'd all have to go take break. But until I got to be about 35, he started really appreciating my style of music and started listening to it and then saying, "Okay, yeah, that's good." And it took a long time. It took a very long time. And when I finally got to that point where my dad and I could sit down and play guitar good together, my dad was a self-taught lead guitarist. I was a self-taught rhythm guitarist. It took a lot to get us together. We actually had a neighbor. His name was Bill Vroman that played keyboard, and I had a song that I wanted to learn from Ronnie Millsap called "Almost Like a Song." And I got the sheet music for it, and I took it over to Bill Vroman, and I said, "Bill, I want you to do me a favor. I want to learn this song." And he's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. I want to learn this song." And he's like, "All right, how do you want me to do it?" And I says, "The most basic way you can first, and then we'll progress from there. I'll figure out the chords as I work my way up." And we got to where we were doing the song really, really well together. And we said, "Okay, that's good." And we were all ready to call it a day. My dad walked in with his little guitar ramp and his lead guitar, and he says, "All right, boys, one more time from the top." From that day forward, I had appreciation for my dad. He'd heard the song probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times where he actually listened to it, and he came in and he played it note for note. And at that point, it was just like, wow, Okay, that was cool. My dad actually did listen to my way of playing and I understood it. And after that day, it was all fine and dandy. My dad and I got along great, but it took all the way up to that point. I mean, I mowed lawns for a living. My dad would be like, "Oh, just because it's raining outside doesn't mean you need to be sitting home." Well, yeah, it does, Dad. I'm not mowing lawn in the rain. It ain't happening. Well, you're wasting money. No, I'm not. I'm wasting money if I go out there and start mowing lawns when the grass is wet. I'm not wasting money when I'm sitting here in my yard and it's raining outside. I'm wasting money when I mow lawn when the grass is wet because now I got to bring the tractors back and immediately clean everything off and make sure everything's oiled back up, greased back up, and taken care of. That's where I waste my money at. I don't waste my money if I sit home. It just means I got 2 more days worth of work ahead of me now that I didn't have yesterday. You know, and
Yep.
it was a push pull for the two of us for a long time. But we finally got together, and I was just like, okay, well that's cool. When I went to Florida, he'd introduce me on stage, and he'd walk off stage. He'd walk off stage. He was a professional. He'd walk off, say, "I'm going to introduce you guys to my son. His name's Dave, and have fun with listening to what he's got for you." And the whole band would walk off. It'd just be me on the stage by myself, and I pulled it off. And he finally got to the point where that's not bad, you know. It
Right.
actually, to be honest with you, it actually got to the point where when I played with Mike from Tree, Mississippi, Mike Crouch, he wanted to do certain songs and only certain songs, and we did it. And when he got done, he put his guitar in the case. I was like, "But I'm not done yet." And I played another one. Everybody sitting down underneath the ridge crab fell in love with it. My problem was my girlfriend Leah was sitting in the chair beside me, and she fell asleep. And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you one good one, and then I gotta go because she's sleeping, and we gotta get back up over to where our cabin was at because we weren't staying at the campground. We had a cabin, and it was like, okay, well, that was cool." And I actually had a lot of people reach out to me going, "Dave, that was so freaking cool. I wish you could have played a little bit longer." And I was like, "Yeah, me too." But Mike putting his guitar back in the case blew me away first time. Because I really wanted to try to get him to play more with me, but Mike was a professional back in his day.
Yeah.
But he has very specific songs he does. One of them was the one he does with his daughter. I did bring him out of his shell a little bit with Folsom Prison Blues. But after that, he was just like, "Yeah, no, I don't want to do this anymore." All right. I wish you would have stayed with me because I probably could have pulled some that your band and you used to do. But I couldn't do it because he didn't want to do it. And with Leah sleeping in her chair, I was like, "Yeah, I can't do it anymore either. I gotta wake her up and send her back to the cabin." You know,
Yep.
it would have been fun. We could have sat around the campfire for hours doing that stuff. I would have been content.
But that's fun. That's fun doing that stuff.
Yeah,
And
I
you're
enjoyed
actually,
doing.
yeah,
I enjoyed
you're
doing stuff
building
like
family time doing
Yep.
that. Even
that.
if you're not relative or blood, that makes family.
Yep.
Yeah, I could have done it all night long as far as that goes. I mean, I have a repertoire of a lot of songs, but now that I've cut my finger, that repertoire of songs has gone down to zero. I think I've touched the guitar probably once in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Well, I hate to do it, guys, but I gotta go. I got some medical things I need to do.
Yeah, I gotta get upstairs. Mama's
Yeah,
probably thinking I got lost.
yeah, and I've got to do some uh, therapy things. I got to get on the bike and spend about an hour doing stuff. So
Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
Yeah, we'll have to do this again.
definitely.
yes, we will.
Yeah.
The
But
next time I'll be on a different computer that has its own camera because apparently this camera doesn't like me anymore.
that happens in every now and then.
I think we
Yeah,
all
well, it's not supposed to happen now.
Well, no,
Didn't have it done, but not now.
well, this is the first time I've ever done any of this stuff. So,
All right, well, we'll do it again.
all right, but y'all take care. Love you.
All right. Love you
All right,
guys.
love you too,
Later.
Troy. Doug, love you, brother.
All right. Love you, Dave. We'll talk later.
All right, everybody
All
have
right.
a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.